Anthony, what's happening? We are live. Let me go to my office. I'm trying to make sure I got everything squared away in here. My little doggy's happy. I've seen you somewhere before. I just can't place it. Well, I used to be famous a long time ago. So I've been told. I've been told that there's many, many famous people that look just like me. So it could have been there. Maybe we went to high school together. You just never know. How are things in the Philippines, buddy? Crap. There we go. All right. Make sure I look good on camera. You want to see some of this? Huh? Huh? I got a lot going on. A lot going on. Working on stuff, I am. I got Jamie's baby shower schedule, Tony, if you didn't see that. I need to get the phone plugged in. There we go. Thought I'd do a live stream. I usually do one on Wednesdays. But whatever. I'll do one today. Oh, I forgot. I gotta do that crap. I forgot to share the live stream out. Man. If I was my own employee, I would fire me. I would fire me if I was my boss. There we go. All right. Got that shared out to everybody in the entire world. Thank you all for being here. Don't be shy. Got a lot of people hanging out in the background. Like I said, don't be shy. All is welcome here. Give us a thumbs up. Drop a name. Let us know. Say hi. Let us know what's going on in your world. Do you want to have a friend in the year 2026? Tim is in the house. Good evening, sir. How are you, Tim? How are you, buddy? I think it's okay here. I'm a little tired. I got a doctor's procedure tomorrow, but so I even took a shower today. It's amazing. I took a shower, man. Got all cleaned up so I don't stink when I go to the doctor tomorrow, I guess. Tim saying hello to everybody. Man, I've been working on stuff, Tim. Been doing a little slacking. Found some interesting things. I've been reading some stuff. Watching some stuff. I'm still tired. Yeah. Yeah, we're still tired of the snow. I took the wife to, thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way, to work tonight. The roads are pretty good here, really, really good. But any excuse for the wife not to have to drive herself. So I got to pick her up at midnight. The Pirtosh. Well, seeing that I live in America, who do you think? Tell me, I live in America. Let me give you that bit of trivia, and you tell me who you think I would choose. Social Assassin. You look like Michael Moore if he starred in Fear and Loathing. Well, maybe Michael Moore looks like me if he starred in that. There you go. See? Thank you for that. Thank you all for the thumbs up. I'm glad you're not shy. Kind of embarrassing when everybody's shy. Many people don't realize that not bathing is part of depression. It's a good point. That actually is. That is a good point. So you like that, social? See? There's always two sides to the coin, my friend. You know, it's either heads, tails, or this or that. There's always something. I like to take baths personally because I'm old, but I thought I better spruce up when I go to the doctor. Got to have some shots in my back done tomorrow. So I didn't want to smell like an old guy when I go to the doctor. I don't want them to call social services on me and say, you better send somebody to go watch that old guy to see if he's still hanging in there. Don't forget to double tap your screen and give me some thumbs up. Or hit the thumbs up button, whichever you got. I got too many things going on today. I thought they would cancel. Will you be my friend? I was watching something today about YouTube, how they're talking about they're going to start going through and eliminating AI channels. Now, from what it sounds is they're not going to put AI channels into a separate category. And what I mean by this is, yes, if you're using AI, when you make a video, if you're altering somebody's appearance and things like that, you have to indicate that that's what you're doing. But from the video I watched on the news was more about how people who make only AI videos and AI channels, they're definitely going after. They're going to start eliminating those. They think it's taken away from the small content creator. And I guess they've had enough people complain about that, about the fact that, hey, it's hard enough to be a content creator, but now you can use AI to do it. And I'm not saying use AI is super easy, but compared to people out there working their butts off, it's discouraging. So from what I take, it's kind of like, I think YouTube is kind of afraid of, it reminds me of Bud Light. Kind of makes me think that they're afraid of losing their core audience or their core financial support, because that's what us content creators are, right? Everybody who watches a ad and or any super chat, they get money from us. If we all go away because we can't compete with AI videos, well, they lose the revenue stream, is what I think the motivation is. They say it's to be fair to us. People like me and Tim and many others. I don't think it is. I don't think it has anything to do with being fair. I think it has everything to do with money. So I think there's a lot of these, because nowadays, even on shorts, YouTube shorts, there's nothing but AI on shorts. They're just AI shorts. They're flooded the AI short system. There's all these AI channels that just play music and show like a fireplace in the background. All of this type of stuff. So from my understanding of watching the CNN interview with this lady, was talking about that this year, in year 2026, they're going to be working on that. YouTube is, which I think is a fantastic thing. The other thing they're going to be doing supposedly this year is working on the children thing. So they are going to be looking and working harder to figure out channels made by minors, young children. And they said that they've changed their algorithms to delve deeper. So no longer on any channel are they going to be just looking for what you say your age is. Before, YouTube has all been, hey, if you say you're 18, you're 18, and they don't care. If they say you're 50, you're 50. See what I mean? They don't care. Now they're going to have some kind of AI generated system that's going to track these channels, find out what they watch, what they do, and if they appear to have any relationship to like a minor owning the channel, then they're going to They're going to ask for age verification. And if you can't age verify your channel, then your channel gets deleted, I guess. So I found that very interesting. I saw it today. Very, very interesting. Doesn't really pertain to me, because what they did say, though, when YouTube does that, when they suspend your channel because they think you're a minor or a kid, because of everything that you watch, the content that you put on, the comments that happen, well, if you can prove by uploading government documents, photo IDs, that you're a real person, that you're not a child, well, then you can keep your channel. Military man, hello, good to see you. How are you? How are things in your world? Anybody having snow still? It got above freezing today here, big day for us. That happened to you before? That YouTube wanted you to verify your age or who you really were or something like that? Tell me about it. 31 inches? Oh, shit. I think we only got about 8 to 10 inches where we're at. It did warm up today. All right, Tim, appreciate you, buddy, for doing that. Thank you all to the thumbs up, by the way. All right. They banned you for how long young you looked until you proved your ID. Good. I don't think there's, anything really wrong with it. I don't know what the deeper reason is. So yes, okay, look. If they're trying to protect minors on YouTube by not letting them have YouTube channels, I don't know if that's really protecting them, so to speak, because the kids can just go to anybody's live stream, right? And watch content and make friends through chat and all of that stuff. So I don't know. I may look like I'm 12 to 14, but in fact, I am 25 and 7 months old. Very nice. I have the same problem. I do. I've been told that I look to be a young man in the age range of 27 to 28. And really, I'm the opposite. I'm actually 29. So I look younger than my age. So I can relate. So I think it's great that but if they're trying to keep predators away from the kids by not letting the kids have the channels, I don't know how well that works. I guess it's just one little spoke in a wheel that could help with that. I really do. I think maybe that's where they're going with that, which is good, I guess. But I don't know what they're doing otherwise. Because a lot of kids will use their mom and dad accounts. We have a lot of kids that come on our channel, and I know they're kids from the way they type, or the words they use, and the questions they ask, and they're using their mom and dad's YouTube channel. Yeah, parents' accounts, yeah. So how are they going to monitor that, And now they're looking at it from a business standpoint, right? I get the business standpoint. A child cannot enter into a business agreement. They can't. They can't purchase anything in a contract. They can't do it. Legally in the United States, a minor cannot enter into a contract. The parent has to do it. So, and I've known channels, and I got friends who their children, with the blessing of mom and dad, said, yes, let's create you a YouTube channel, and YouTube took it away. I said, no, we're not going to allow that, even though mom and dad said it was okay. I don't know. I don't show my face or voice in videos other than streams because of how it affects me. Well, that's okay. Things affect people differently in all different ways, shapes, and forms, and you got to do what makes you feel comfortable. If you don't like it, then don't make content that's relevant to what you don't. I got other friends. I have one friend that has a facial disfigurement, and he has a YouTube channel, and he covers it up when he does his YouTube stuff. And to be honest, what I've told him, and this is what I do on my channel, I told him, I said, what I would do is just be upfront with it. Yes, I'm a fat guy, me. I don't hide behind it. You're not going to offend me by calling me fat because that's what I'm at. So if you take the stigma away, like my friend who's disfigured, if you go on there and say, look, yes, I was disfigured. My face got ripped off by an alligator, whatever it may be. Well, then that gets rid of people being able to harass you about the insecurity that you have that people may not actually recognize. BJ is in the house. He says, God is good. I'm happy for you, my friend. You're kind of like my size. All right, so own it. I tell people this, and I make a lot of videos. I've been doing this a while. Well, by the way, thank you all for the thumbs up and being here, subscribing. I don't hide behind my disabilities, the way I look, or anything. I just don't. My opinions, my views, when I go on other people's live streams, I show my face. But I'm also smart enough not to say stupid things. Plus, I don't really say stupid things too often, only stupid things. But, but my friend who's disfigured in the face, I'm like, just own it. When I would do, yeah, absolutely. And what I tell people is, because a lot of people like to start the gay thing. People like to call people gay and homosexual, and then they also like to call people old and dumb, on YouTube. But I tell you, the secret is you're not. The secret truly is to say, if somebody, runs off the mouth and says, hey, you look gay, I said, well, thank you. I'm not, but if you are, it's perfectly okay in my world. It's not my business who you sleep with or what you sleep with. Just not. You're accepted here no matter what you do, what race you are, what sex you are. I don't care. This channel doesn't care. So I kind of turn it into a teaching moment back on them. And what I find is it never happens again. It rarely happens anymore. You have an average amount of stupidity? Well, that's all right. We all have I have a lot of stupidity. Someone's got a lifetime ban for my channel because they went through all of my videos and said, oh, little bro, not tough with stupid emojis. Yeah, okay, and I will tell you, I do think there are times to ban somebody. I really do. I also think a smart YouTuber, which what I consider myself to be, I don't know if I'm a content creator, I don't know what I am, but my wife and I have this channel together. We do a lot of content, so we have permanently banned a few people over the years, but I let people say what they want to say, and I'll tell you why. One, I'll answer back, and tell them, thank you for your comment, please make more. Because every comment somebody makes, positive or negative, helps your channel out, helps you grow. So when I get negative comments, and I get them, I just reply simply, thank you so very much for watching the video and leaving a comment. You did me a favor. They go away on their own. They go away on their own. My views, your world. Hey, Jay, how are you, my good friend? Good morning to you there in the Philippines. Thank you for being a member of the channel, by the way. So one thing I will also say, and MJ, My Views, Your World, knows this from his channel, you can't take what people say to you off of the internet personally, okay? Don't do that. Hey there, David. That's my goal, to grow my channel. I keep a child-friendly and respect the post-rail fan videos to just make people happy, okay? So you have a YouTube channel. Let me go see if I can find your YouTube channel. Let me go see if I can find you. Jimmy's in the house. Good evening. How are you? Now, so Military Man is a trained YouTube channel. Very cool. I'm a big train fan myself. I've always wanted to have enough room and enough money to build a great big train model, just hasn't. Well, all you have to do is keep working on it. You got 207 subscribers. You can ask people here on this live stream if they would like to subscribe to you. Say, I have a YouTube channel. It's about trains. Would you guys please go subscribe to me? Jimmy, hi, Military Man. See, you got a new subscriber. Hello, Jimmy. See, you guys all say hello. You make friends and you get new subscribers. Pat's in the house. Good evening, Pat. Pat, good to see you. It got above freezing today. We got out and about today. I am a railroad worker. Oh, nice. All right, so you're actually a railroad worker. There's a couple other big YouTube channels, like Southwest Jerry, I think is his name, who does trains all the time. So very nice. Railroad, and railway. My views, I am number 208. Thank you for doing that, AJ. Thank you for doing that, my views. You're welcome. Now, I will say this, Military Man, since you're kind of new to the YouTube world, when people subscribe to you, to make it stick, how this works, like for my channel, if I'm going to be lucky enough to have you subscribe to my channel, what I need you to do is watch a video, comment on the video, then hit the like button, the thumbs up button, and then subscribe to my channel and hit the alert bell. So if you don't watch somebody's video, it's not going to stick to their channel. It's going to show up and go away. Hello, my views. My views. Good to see you from Patrick. Hey, Patrick. Jawtooth. Can't forget about the dude right there and the rails of Massachusetts. Okay. You know, you guys might all think this is crazy, but I love to go on cruise ships. But I'll tell you, one of the best YouTube channels I watch is at the Port of Miami webcam, and it just watches all the ships coming in and out of the Port of Miami. I find that channel fascinating. I know it's stupid, but I like watching all of the different ships. When I'm really bored, I'll put it up on the big screen and read or something, and I'll just watch boats coming in and out of the Port of Miami. Yep, Tim is here. Tim said he has to hang out in the background for a little bit. I see and ride quite a few ships. Nice. So I think you got a direction. You know, Pat is growing a YouTube channel. Pat has a channel. My Views has a channel. Tim has a channel. Jimmy, I don't know. Jimmy, are you doing a channel these days? Pat saying hello to you, military. I do know that one thing I would caution you, and I'm sure you know this, when it comes to railroads, I do understand that certain areas of rail yards and railroads are private. Meaning I don't know if you can film on them or not. I think it's private property. So, because I know there's a lot of people that film them, but they have to do it from roads and a distance because they can't get into the rail yards. All right, he says, I don't ask. Well, I'm asking for you. How's that? I'm going to ask for you. Jimmy says, you know, I don't really do anything, but since you're so damn handsome, charming, outstanding, humorous, and funny, I come in to bother you. The CSXT line in Fort Durham, Watertown, New York is ineligible. Okay. I've never even been on my channel. Let me check your channel. What are you doing on your channel? I'm going to pull you up. Do you have one? I'm going to pull you up. I'm going to spy on you, Jimmy. Oh, shit, Jimmy, you have 40 subscribers. Now you got 41. I just subscribed to you. How you go? You got 40. Now, you don't have any content, but you got 41 subscribers and no content. Private military. Yeah. But I know, but even in general, like, you know, if it's the Arkansas Missouri Railroad, the railroad and a certain footage away from the railroad is technically private property. Pat says, hello, Jimmy. My Views Your World is waking up in the Philippines. Anthony was here a few minutes ago. I think he went back to sleep. So, Pat, how's the weather? Is your weather getting any better? Our roads are nice and clear here. Lorelai could have drove herself to work, but, you know, any excuse to get me to do it. So I drove her to work. I got to pick her up at midnight. The funny thing is, I've learned when I'm doing these live streams like this, that I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So she can't call me. Even if she wants to come home early, she can't call me until I take my phone off Do Not Disturb. So, Melody Man says goodbye and have a good night. We will. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here, and good luck. You're welcome to stop in anytime, and I'll be happy to pick on you. Have a good time with you. No, Pat, I did not. Let me check it. Let me pull it up right now. Oh, I'm over here already. Let me pull Pat's channel back up. Pat is rocking and rolling. Oh, yeah, I remember the one from 3 months ago, from October. That one? Yes. Pat has 296 and 4 videos. Did you make a later one? Yeah, I've learned that the hard way. My views, I really have learned that the hard way. I had to Google it because I didn't even know my phone could go on Do Not Disturb. My wife never told me that. So, yep, I didn't even know. My wife never told me I could do that. I've been watching a bunch of videos about California imploding. Nice, nice. I always like that. I made up one for the snow a few days ago. Okay, Pat, I will definitely watch that, I promise. Pat has a new video for you guys to go watch. California's a mess. Minnesota's a mess. But yeah, my views, Lorelai, my wife, you know, who kind of like in charge, she manages the Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account. She has it and includes me. The phones, she manages, and she just says, here, this is what you do. So I Googled the other day, because every time somebody calls, it screws it up, right? And I got frustrated, so I started to Google it. Well, it says, well, you hit Do Not Disturb. I'm like, Do Not Disturb? How the hell do you do that, you know? So I went and figured out and saw how to do that. And so now I'm putting it on Do Not Disturb. So she's at work. She may leave work early, but I got the car. I had to take her to work. So she may have a long walk, or since Facebook is pulled up, she can message me on Facebook. Otherwise, I will plan to pick her up later tonight. But just like a wife, to tell me that. She even, you know, I'll tell you a funny story, because, you know, Filipinas. Back when we were first married, like I said, she manages the phone crap. I guess she had a GPS tracker on my phone somehow. And I don't understand it, but we both had iPhones. And I was fishing with a buddy. It was a couple years in our marriage. I mean, it's been 3 or 4 or 5 years. And I was down about, an hour away fishing with a buddy. And she messaged me, calls me, and she said, well, why are you an hour away? I thought you were only going 30 minutes away. And I'm like, well, and I told her, well, we change locations. That's what you do when you fish. You know, I'm like, well, wait a minute. How the hell do you know where I'm at? You know. I have Facebook. I have photos in it. You can go see that. I'm just as handsome as you. So then you're part of the Handsome Man Club. The HMC. You're part of the HMC, my friend. You know, we just made up a new club. Join the HMC. Somebody will come on there later and go, what the hell's HMC? I did get Unbothered Avocado, or Jamie's avocado. Jamie, you know. Her baby shower scheduled. I got it set up and scheduled on StreamYard for April the 3rd, Friday. We're going to do that big baby shower for Jamie, who's never had one. On StreamYard. It's going to be a virtual baby shower. She's not coming here, and I'm not going there, but we're all going to do a virtual one. So I got that done today. I'm kind of proud of that. I don't know. And I tried to put a bunch of sexy girls on the thumbnail, but my AI software wouldn't let me make too sexy of girls. I figured if I put a whole bunch of sexy girls on there, then people would come to it. But I could only put moderately. And I did get that done today. Yeah, AJ, you're right. I got to remember to turn the not disturb off when I'm done. Or maybe just leave it that way for the rest of my life. You know, that could be the way. I get so many calls from like the insurance company, medical pharmacy, you know, and stupid doctors. People have started to alert me all the damn time now. You have an appointment. Do you want to pre-register? Why do I have to pre-register? You're going to make me walk in and go to the desk and say, hi, I'm here anyway. Isn't that registering? Everything's in the system. You know I'm coming. Why do I got to do something on my phone? Can't I just walk in and say hi? Because no matter what, I still got to walk in and say, hi, I'm here. If I don't say, hi, I'm here, you're not going to let me go see the doctor guy. Man. And I think our local medical people have gotten greedy lately. They sent me a thing. I haven't even been to the doctor yet. I go there tomorrow. They're already wanting more money. They're like, hey, you need to give us this. I'm like, I haven't done anything with it yet. Kind of like paying for the steak before you eat it at a restaurant. Come on now. Can't you just wait until I get there to take the money out of my pocket, you grubby little scumbags? Oh, well, what are you going to do? I thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. Remember Jamie's shower, got that done. Got a little video coming out about a vacuum. But we're going to make friends. Does anybody want to be my friend for the year 2026? I've been, forgot what I was doing. Man, it's hard getting old. Your mind goes kaputty. Jimmy, how many feet of snow do you have where you're at? Our road's literally cleared up here. It got right at 30 today with the sun out. So, you know, the blacktops all melted pretty good. The roofs are starting to melt. We still got a lot of snow on the ground. I haven't checked the weather forecast for next weekend. I think it's going to be in the 30s and the 40s here, but hopefully no more snow. I was amazed to see how many power outages there were all over the United States. Like, I guess West Virginia, they got just devastated by all of the power outages, which, you know, is sad because where we live, they've eliminated power outages from storms. No snow, just a little ice, all gone. Where I'm at, the first freeze never sticks. The ground is too warm. Yeah, they're in Georgia. Yeah. I thought maybe, I know Mississippi got some ice in some other areas. I didn't know if it dipped down low enough for you. I know they're talking about, even in Florida, it's supposed to be in the 30s tonight, the upper 30s. Pat says, in my place, I can't hardly walk. The snow is so deep. Wow. Yeah, here what we've done is, and maybe it's because West Virginia doesn't have the money, I don't know. But in the state that I live in, the surrounding states, they made a gigantic concerted effort to cut trees back. where there's power lines. They got this big machine that has like a boom arm on it with a spinning blade. And they put it there and they cut all these shit way back. And so power lines, they don't fall on it. And then of course in our own town, in our own area, they buried the power lines. So they've actually took them down off poles and buried them under the ground. David Gold says, I am in the Philippines and I am retired. Well, congratulations on double whammy. Hello, David Patton says, good to see. What part of the Philippines are you in? I am retired, but I'm not in the Philippines currently. We've lived there. We have property there. But we are currently living in the United States. David, good to have you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing to everybody's channel. Everybody subscribe to David. David, do you have a channel? Good to see ya. Jimmy says, hello to you, David. What part of the Philippines, my friend, are you in? There you go. Iligan City. Do you like it? Or do you hate it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you hate? We have a house in the province. Nice. All right, that's better. We lived in the cities and I hated it. I subscribed to David yesterday. Very good. Thank you for doing that. David says, I am loving it. What do you love about it? Pat says, I left you a comment. Nice. Very good. Pat's always really good about checking in with people, subscribing to them. Follow them. We're all trying to grow and become super groovers or whatever the hell you want to call us. On Mindanao. Ah, Mindanao. Mindanao. There you go. Yeah, we're Cebu people, I guess. My wife's from Cebu City, Mandawi. So when we were there, we lived on Mactan Island and in Cebu itself. I love the people, of course. I am not... Of course, I am a people person on my walks. Wow, you get to take walks? My wife wouldn't let me walk alone. Married for 21 years. We're going on 12 years, David. My wife and I are 12 years. We're going on 12 years. Yes, halfway there. Halfway to 12 years? Yeah, 11 and a half. You know what I mean. MJ says, my views, your world. I just found out where it was talking to a bar girl the other night. Well, I just found out where you were, what, you were talking to a bar girl the other night? You do that a lot, I thought. I thought that was your daily hobby. So, Lucy's in the world. Everybody said hello to Lucy. Lucy, good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Been in the 6 months in the Philippines. All right, nice. There's a lot of things we love about the Philippines, of course. A lot of things we don't, just like America. I will tell you personally, my personality finds the Philippines extremely boring. We also got hit with Typhoon Odette when we were there. That wiped us out, literally. So we didn't have the best of time while we were there because we got one, it was boring for me, being in the city, my wife not allowing me to go anywhere. But two, Typhoon Odette came in and wiped us out. Roosters, I'm starting to you get used to the roosters. You know, they really didn't bother me that much. Pat says, I see you are a Christian, David. I am also a Christian. Pat is acknowledging for David. Pat's going to the Philippines in the spring, he hopes. No typhoons in Angeles City. Yes, no typhoons, but a lot of venereal diseases. So which would you prefer? Typhoons or diseases? Just saying. It's just a question. Found a good church in the Philippines? Excellent. Lucy, how are you? What's going on in your world? How are you? What have you been up to? So, well, it's true, you know. Yeah, well, Cebu, you know, where Lorelei is from, not only gets the hurricane or the typhoons, but they also get the earthquakes. So, yeah, the week before I went there, the very first time, they had earthquake that cracked my hotel room, that cracked my hotel. So, we get there and it's kind of like, oh, well, that's an interesting design. Oh no, we had an earthquake last week. Ah, it's fine. Okie dokie. Yes, pushing my channel the last 4 weeks. It's growing good. What type of content are you doing, David? I know I subscribed to you the other day too. You were on the other day, if I remember right. You guys need to subscribe to Lucy's channel too. I remember your channel, David. I do. You got some beach videos going on. Very nice. Nice. Looks like you're doing a good job with your videos, so good for you, buddy. Looks like you're doing a good job over there. Short time you've been there. You got a lot of shorts going on, which is always good. You're doing some live streams. There you go. You're doing good. Congratulations on that. There you go. Just play it by ear. I think the key is, Lorelai and I, our channel, we are the adventures of the Philippine American couple, or PAC. And we got over 1,000 videos, lots of live streams. We've done a lot of different stuff, traveled, cruise ships, Philippines, other places. We cover just pretty much anything we feel like covering when we feel like covering it. It's like this week we had the snow event. We had to try to get Lily, our dog, to go pee in the snow, which is no easy feat. So, we did a quick live stream on that. So you just do what you want to do. Don't listen to what anybody else tells you about how to do your channel. You just do you and have a good time with it. There's a lot of little tips. If you ever want any, please let me know. We're happy to talk to you about anything you want. If you got questions. Having chicken Alfredo tonight. Just started? Yes. Yeah. Let me check. Where are you at? You got 155 subs so far. Nice. You got a bunch of shorts. I think you're doing fine. Just have fun with it. Realize if you make a mistake, it's not a mistake. Because one thing, I taught college for 25 years, so I spoke in public a lot. I used to host very large conferences, and I also did consulting business. So one thing I learned many thousands of years ago, when you're doing stuff, people don't know if you say something wrong unless you let them know you said something wrong. If I'm talking about how Lipton brisk iced tea is soda, well, it's not. But if I said that, if I said, hey, here's my soda, well, as long as I don't correct myself, nobody's going to catch it. Nobody's going to care, and nobody's going to catch it. So don't worry about being perfect. Just be you. I try to pronunciate well. I don't do it very well. I had a coma some years ago, and it caused me some brain damage. I used to be kind of smart, but now I'm half and half. Half-ass and half not, I guess. So, I think there's a lot you can learn about how to present yourself, how to face the camera, how to talk to the camera. That makes things more engaging. But you'll learn all of that as you go along. There's a lot of little tips you can do. Getting comfy a bit and live now. Good, you got it. And that's what I told Pat. Pat wants to do live streams, and I told him the only way you can get comfortable with them is to do them. It's just to do them. And don't take, I was telling the military guy earlier, his channel, don't take anything personal. You're going to get haters. You are. You're going to get people call you names. You are. Don't worry about it. Take it with a grain of salt because it means nothing. All right? So don't go down that rabbit hole. I supported Brother David 2 years now. Yes, yeah, Pat's been on my channel for a couple years now. We've become pretty close. There are a lot of things that we can do. I mean, I try to make a backstage when I do these lives. We do a lot of live streams outside. I try to position the camera at a position, you know, where it's almost above me a little bit here versus looking up my nose. I don't like to talk like this, you know, when people are sticking up my nose. So I try to do that. I'm a very much a talker with my hands, so, you know, try to have fun, try to be humorous, and take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah, the beach, the ocean, the water, easy content. That's one thing I was disappointed living in the Philippines. I didn't even get to fish because all the water around us is polluted. And then the other waters at the time, you know, was after COVID and Typhoon Odette hit. Nobody was open to take me anywhere on the boats or it was all messed up. So I didn't even get to fish, or otherwise I would have been a big surf fisher. If I would have been in your type of environment, I'm a fisherman. I love fishing. Man, I would be doing fishing videos like crazy. A lot of channels jump on the trash content. I don't recommend that. Pat's asking, David, did you subscribe back to me? If you did, thank you. Remind everybody to subscribe to each other. So, church tore up here a little. But yeah, it was funny trying to get our dog Lily to go out. She has a bad leg from a car accident. So she's real skittish about, you know, things. It's pretty good here, but a cement factory in Iligan City, every once in a while it gets dirty. Oh, yeah. Well, the Philippines is dirty. Now, I'm not picking on the Philippines, but it's a dirty place, comparatively. And I preach and I say and I talk about openly, look, the Philippines could be one of the most beautiful countries in the world if they could figure out how to do something with their garbage. If they didn't litter everywhere, if they didn't post political signs everywhere and stickers everywhere, whatever you want to call them, posters all over the place, if they cleaned up the garbage and had a sense of national pride about the Philippines, like they do for Manny Pacquiao, the Philippines truly could be beautiful. We own land on a beach there, and I think it's funny. We have this most beautiful beach view in the world. It's across from that Fantasy Island TV show they did in the Philippines. But if you look to the left, no good. You look to the right, no good. If you want a view, you got to look straight forward. Don't look left or right. My Visual World says 1,000%. I agree with the handsome man in the hat and the glasses and the tropical shirt. Thank you for that. So you know what I mean. I like the Philippines. It's just filthy. And we didn't have enough water pressure for me to clean anything either. That was one of the bummer things. I wanted to power wash the houses, the patios, the fencing, wanted to clean stuff up. No power, no pressure. But I'm telling you, you get rid of the garbage, it's one of the most beautiful, and they would make so much money in the Philippines, so much money. And they need to invest some money in infrastructure, as we all know. You have a well? Nice. We had problems with our storage tank all the time, and we had no pressure. It would take me five to 7 minutes? A lot of times to fill up a 5-gallon bucket. Oh, yeah. And I think a generator's great to have. Between the brownouts, blackouts, the outs. But, and in contrast, I'll say I've been to a lot of other countries, not many, but maybe 15 to 20. Been on a lot of cruise ships. Now, we've gone to a lot of touristy places and these other places. And I look and go, these other very poor countries are keeping their environment clean, or pretty clean. Why can't the Philippines? Japan does it. Thailand does it. Why can't the Philippines do it? I'll be going to, oh, really? Pat's going to be going there soon. Pat's going to go check out a girl, hoping that she's honest. I have known her for a year. Well, I hope she is honest, Pat. I don't know if I've told people, as a business standpoint, if somebody was really smart and can figure out how to get a recycling center started in the Philippines, they could probably do a lot of good and make a lot of money. There's probably a lot of products that could be recycled and sold in the Philippines. We've upgraded our tank, being close to Igan City. Very few brownouts, so thankful for this area. Nice. It's all a choice, my friend. MJ says, yeah. But MJ, do you think? Sorry, AJ. I was thinking of Mike a minute ago. Sorry. AJ, do you think that choice could be influenced? I mean, what do you think is the driving point for their decision? Is this the one rolling their eyeballs? David says, okie dokie. Pat's going to go see a girl that rolls her eyes. What do you guys think? Is a girl honest when she goes? Now it depends. You know, I roll my eyes a lot because I'm a smart ass. So when my wife says something to me, I'm like, oh, God, here we go again. So is she rolling her eyes in jest, or is she rolling her eyes because when she's speaking, because if she's rolling her eyes when she's speaking, maybe she's lying, you know. But when you roll your eyes in reaction to somebody else speaking, that's your reaction. Yes, Brother David. Jimmy says, well, Pat, don't do what David did. The first time he went, it was earth-shaking. It was. It was earth-shaking. And I got married somehow. I knew when I caught my plane, I was actually going to marry Laura. I already knew it. But yes, it was definitely earth-shaking for her. Yeah, I think taking the risk is good as long as you have an open mind and a backup plan. And I don't mean a backup plan as a girl. I mean what I mean is you can't go to the Philippines thinking you're going to go and be with Amy Sue and not have any other backups in case that falls apart. Where you're going to stay. How are you going to get point A to point B? Chasing Tell, my good friend, how are you? Trying to figure her out when we've done video calls? Nice. Chasing Tell, how are you? Hey, my smart-ass friend, and hello to all in the chat. That's me. My view is good to see you, man. Oh, man. What have you been up to? We're going to have a baby shower, virtual baby shower from Unbothered Avocado, or Jamie, if you know her, on April the 3rd, Friday, April the 3rd, right here on StreamYard. So I'd like for everybody to come in and wish her a happy baby, whatever you do with the baby. I don't know what you do with them, but whatever you do with the baby. Choice can be influenced through education and being shown another way. Absolutely. Education and motivation. I remember in the 70s when America was full of trash and they came out with the commercials telling us how horrible it was to pollute our own planet or pollute our country. And we made the Indian guy cry. Remember those? Okie dokie, Jimmy. Everybody say hello to Chasing Tell, by the way. Yes. Have a plan if it goes a different direction. Absolutely. Y'all, I tell people, even if you're going to go live there, you need to have an emergency evacuation plan. You just do. Awesome. Congrats to the baby shower, does Pat? No, it's not Pat's. But Pat's going to be there. You may, Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. My health, but then again, the weird thing is I can't take winters either. And my health is okay in the Philippines, but what I tell people is this. My best advice to you, if you're going to go to the Philippines, you need to be somewhat healthy. Or you're going to just be bored out of your mind and sit in your house. So, do you want to go sit there in your house and be bored completely? If not, if you're a rambler, if you want to be active and do things, you need to be healthy enough to go do those. Do not stay with her or her family. Always stay in the control of your travel. I agree, MJ. I'm sorry, AJ. I got Mike on the brain. AJ, correct. I would book a hotel myself, and then if I wanted to go visit her house and hang out, I would. I would never wind up in a situation, in an emergency, where I got to find lodging or transportation in a foreign country. Listen to AJ, he knows. He's been lost many times. I see. The Amish father of 5 looks like smoked 2 gallons of tractor exhaust and sleep deprived. Well, I feel bad for him. Tell him that we feel sorry for him and we hope that he gets feeling better. I don't know of Amish people owning tractors, but would you do me a favor and wish him well? And tell him to get some rest. I take 2 walks a day, excellent, and enjoy nature, though I would like to walk at night, but really happens, yeah. Chasing Tail says, I go all over every day when I am there. And a lot of expats do. A lot of us do. My wife wouldn't let me. She's always worried, 1, with my bad heart, bad lungs, bad legs, that I would probably hurt myself. Or 2, since I'm not, not the most gentle person, and I stick out like a sore thumb, she was always worried of chaos, I guess. Because I do not, sometimes I have a tendency, I'm a very kind person when I want to be, but I can also be a little direct to people who are not used to the American way. And when you go to a lot of countries, you got to realize that the way we speak in America can be considered offensive to a lot of other people, speaking directly. So I guess she always worried that maybe I am too direct when I say things. But Chasing Tail's a young man, a healthy man. He's out there chasing tail. He has to go everywhere. I figured he'd be married by now. He'd be married, settled down, having 20 babies by now. Like every other good raccoons. So, but I do think, we went over, I was still in a walking boot, which is a bad mistake on my part. I did a video about the mistakes we made moving to the videos. It's on my channel. But one of them was truly not having my leg healed up from surgery. Completely. David says, I stick out. I am 6'3". Yes, I speak kind of loud, so I try to soften my voice. I agree. I have to do the same. I do. I do the same, and I'm smart enough because I taught international students all my life to caution my words and to listen to what they're trying to say and then answer and repeat back to them. So I know how to de-escalate, so to speak, if you want to call it that, or how to speak on different levels. But, when something is really stupid, sometimes, AJ has to call me out and say, that's just really stupid. Same thing with Chasing Tail. So maybe she was a little worried that I would, but then, because I'm an explorer by heart, my body is just not up to be an explorer. But if I had a healthy body, I would be a professional explorer. Been there, done that. No more rings for anyone unless it's a ring pop. I agree. AJ, did you get to travel in style? Yes, pathetically. And that's probably part of my problem. I don't like being handicapped. I don't like having issues. My wife calls it pride. But I don't like the fact that I use a handicap parking thing, that I have to use a mobility scooter. And in airports, they take me in a damn wheelchair. I don't like it. It offends me to be in this bad a shape when my brain and my brain's screwed up. When there has to be at least one part of my body that's not screwed up. So when there's at least one part of my body that's not screwed up, it offends me to not be able to do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and how I need to do it. I don't like to ask for assistance. It makes me upset. I don't like it. I can carry things myself. I can do it. The trash thing, I have to be careful. People here just ignore. I know. And if you clean it all up, what I found, if you clean it up all around your place, they will just throw it right back where it was. It's one thing I learned, is I would clean it up. And then I realized it just keeps coming back. So I guess I have an ego. I don't know what you want to call it, but I don't like to. Well, AJ, and I get it. I mean, I can't, that, like I told somebody the other day I was talking to about Incheon Airport. If you've ever been to Incheon Airport, it's a long ways from where you land from the United States to where you get on a plane to the Philippines. I could never walk that. It's too far. So I have to get the mobility scooter or the wheelchair to get me there from point A to point B. It's a booger. You just can't do it. Or take the golf cart, whatever you want to call it. But what I will say is this. We use Cebu City Airport when we come to the Philippines. Yep, MAC 10. We lived on the island. Yeah, we've been through Manila. We prefer Cebu. Plus, you can fly from Los Angeles directly to Cebu, if I remember right. Southern Philippines, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, Chicago, you got to go in and out, right? You got to go out of the domestic side to the international side. That's a huge walk too. Now, what I will say is, I was telling a friend of mine the other day who's retired and has a lot of money, and I guess he's just kind of bored, which would be nice to have a lot of money and to be retired and good enough help to enjoy the money. He was over kind of whining, and I told him basically, well, look, if Lorelei and I was in your financial situation, we would be taking a trip monthly. The only problem, and this is what I told him, is this is what's relevant to this, is the only problem I have when we travel, Lorelei has to work twice as hard because she has to help me get through the airports, get seated on a plane. Not that I'm an invalid, but she helps, and she usually has to carry more luggage than I do, even though I try. So she likes to take on the managerial role of our trips. How is she going to get me from point A to B? She's worried about me when I don't think you ought to worry about me, but she does, right? That's what the wives do. And so when we're carrying a lot of luggage, it's harder on her. If I walk, she knows the next day I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to be hurting. I'm going to be just devastated if I walk through Incheon. So she knows, and I now know, even though I don't like it, it's better for our overall trip if I take the golf cart or the handicap thingy to get through the airports so that the next day when we're in the Philippines or in Aruba or Jamaica, Montego, wherever we land, then I'm not already in a god amount of pain and miserable. So she knows that. And so it's harder for her when we travel like that. Now we're traveling domestically and we're driving, it's not as bad. I mean, she packs everything because she's a control freak. Yeah, she's probably listening now. But I do the driving. Good. David says, we are building on our investments, but in the U.S. I would have to work. So in the Philippines, we are complete. That's good. It is. Yeah, my wife works, I mean, we're not rich or anything, don't get me wrong. But my wife works. I don't, because I'm worthless. I'm one of those worthless deadbeat type of guys. But I get what you mean. In the Philippines, we had no financial worries whatsoever, except for making sure it didn't go out the window, so to speak. AJ says, yes, lesson learned. Never was rich in the US of A. I don't think, it depends on your definition of rich, right? What is your definition of rich? And this is more of a theoretical question. My theory of rich is different from most people's. I've never been rich in America either, but I'm not that far from it. I was rich in the Philippines, but really wasn't happy. So what's your definition of being rich? Is cheap living there? Okay. I love my working career. Great. What did you do, if you don't mind me asking? You can just give us a generic term if you want. I taught college, enjoyed it, had a lot of fun, did private consulting. Loved my career. I hated the people I worked with. A lot of them sucked, but the job was good. Spent 47 years working full time, but you said earlier that you're old enough for retirement age, right? I'm not quite old enough technically for retirement age, except for the health issues. So if you can live comfortably in the Philippines, I think that's great. I think it's a different style of living. It's a different way of life. We always knew that we'd have to fly back to America to do my pacemaker replacement because I wasn't going to do it in the Philippines. So Pat says, thumbs up. Yes, worked on a golf course and building golf course for 27 years. Worked for my dad. Nice. Nice. Well, golf courses are becoming popular in the Philippines. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they're starting to sprout up in the Philippines over the last 10, 15 years. I know we have some in Cebu, which I think, it is an emerging country from a standpoint where more and more people are getting disposable incomes. Your dad is 87. Well, the friend I was talking to the other day is 89. Tina Marie, all the way from the land of Thai food, is in the house. Everybody say hello to Tina Marie in the house from the land of Thai. How are you? There is one in Avon City. I haven't checked it out yet. All right. Well, I thought maybe you could, AJ saying, hello there, Tina Marie. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Tina from David. Pat's in the house, too. He'll say hi in a second. He's got 20,000 feet of snow where he is, so he's, yummy Thai food. Thai food is good. I like Filipino food. I have no problems with it. The only thing I don't like about Filipino food is it's messy looking, right? It's messy. It's not pretty. Thai food's pretty and good eating, but Japanese food is the best. Love Thai food, David says. Yeah, I like Thai food too. I'm really big on the coconut curry soups and things. I really like that. But I like Filipino food. I have no problems with it. There's some dishes I don't like, of course. My Views Your World says, Tina Marie, guess what? I caught some of your live. Woohoo! I didn't catch any of it. Where was I? It's probably in bed. Pat says, I don't like messy food either. Yes. Hi, My Views. Good to see you. Thank you so much for watching my live stream. I do some American food, Filipino food, plus we found a Mexican restaurant. We had Mexican food. God. Oh my God. In Cebu City, I tried hard to find Mexican food. I found 2 places that said they had Mexican food, but it was the most disgusting food there was in the world. Almost as bad as the pizza in the Philippines. Worse than the pizza in the Philippines. Tina Marie, good to see you tonight. Filipino food is all brown. Yes. Yeah, it's all one color. It's all messy. Yeah. I don't like that. I like the food to be pretty. You know, the older you get, you'll learn we like our food to be better tasting, better looking. Same thing with our cars, our homes. As we grow, we want the finer things. And we want, you eat with your eyes. And so food, how it looks is important. Quesadillas was amazing. They had cheese. I mean, I had quesadillas in Cebu City, and it was that pasteurized fake cheese. Oh my God, I thought I was going to die. I haven't tried the burritos yet. The burrito I had like sloppy Joe meat in it. So I don't eat Mexican food there. We did have KFC and Burger King and all of those. I actually like a lot of the outdoor mom and pop type restaurants. When we do the Philippines, we like going to the outdoor places where you sit and you can order, you know, the Four Season drink in the jug, because I can drink and drink and drink and drink a lot of that. And you get the Korean fried chicken or the swordfish, and those open air restaurants. I like those. Those are my favorites. My views, your rules, is y'all got me foodie thinking about food now. Yes, it's morning time. You need to eat some food. Marie said hello to you, Pat. Yep, yes. Some of those are great. They really are. They really are. My sloppy Joe meat loaf, it's delicious. Excellent. My view for watching. Thanks for watching. Yes, I'm traveling for 6 months, Southeast Asia. Yeah, try. So my views, you better pay attention to what she's doing. My views does a lot of traveling too, by the way. Just add the sauce on top. All right. Well, Pat, I don't know if I would do that. I think I would substitute the sauce for some of the seasoning, the meatloaf's traditional meatloaf seasoning, because I think it would, I know you put, a lot of people put ketchup on top of their meatloafs. Maybe that's kind of what you're doing. I found fish sticks and fries for 120 pesos. Ooh, fish and chips is one of my favorite dishes in the world. Love fish and chips, as long as they're good. Yes, they do. All right, Pat. So, not bad. All right, I believe you. Yeah, you know, it's, but you can eat very healthy in the Philippines. You know, I was telling Tony Anthony, a Yank in the Philippines, he's the only person that's moved to the Philippines that I've ever known that gained weight living in the Philippines. Tita saying hello to you, David. David has a young channel he's trying to grow. We will move around the Philippines the next few years. Then I want to go to Kenya and Australia. Was in Africa in 2019. Excellent. Thank you, Tita. Nice. We've been to a lot of places. We like to drive. And that's one thing I tell people, no offense to the Philippines, but I hate to say this, but there's a lot of places like this. Once you've been there, you've been there. Once you've done that, you've done that. And we've been there 4 or 5 times, lived there. You know, sure, you can go see things. There's still things you haven't seen, but there's so many other places in the world to go see, like Thailand, you know, Europe. My God, the Grand Canyon was unbelievable. You know, Aruba, loved Aruba. Curacao was fantastic. Mexico is Mexico. Bahamas are Bahamas. You know, I mean, there's so many other places to go to in life. These people that just want to move to like the Philippines, and I understand a lot of guys want to move there because it's cheap and they can live on their pension in the Philippines. I get it. But are they really living their life? Maybe they're living the best life they can get out of the money they have, which is understandable. But for us, oh my goodness, I want to see so much more. My body is not that great. And my wife likes to work because she knows she's going to outlive me. And she wants to amass as much fortune as she can so that she has boatloads of money when I kill over dead so she can celebrate. I think I am staying steady with my weight. Excellent. Probably lose weight if I cut out the drink. Yes, you would. I love the red horse in the Philippines. A cold red horse in the heat of the night in the Philippines. Got a minute? I've seen the Grand Canyon. I love the Grand Canyon. I tell people there is two times that my mind was truly blown. And I've been there, done a lot, known a lot of people. There's been two times that my mind was kind of blown. The first time I flew to the Philippines, because I truly, even though I have a science background, I really didn't have a concept of how large the planet is. We live on a very, very large planet compared to the size of me. So traveling in a plane for 13 hours to get from point A to point B, 7,000 miles, it's a gigantic planet. Once I realized that's what happened, I sat there and went, holy crap. The other one was when I went to the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon blew my mind. Blew me away. I would love to go back. Blew me away. David, good to see you that you accept the reality of marrying a younger woman. I do. Everything I've done, whether my wife wants to talk about it or admit it or not, has been to set her up financially after I'm gone. I've already been dead 4 times, been in a coma. The odds are not good for me. So everything we've done is to make her financially secure. And if she wants to work and she makes good money, she likes her job. Now, granted, I want her to get one in southern Alabama where it's warmer, but it makes her, she's putting a lot of money away in stocks and 401ks for her future and earning a good income. I'm not going to tell her, no, you got to stay home. I'm not going to do it. I mean, if she wanted to stay home, all right. I mean, it's nice to have that extra money, especially since she likes nice things. But that's the honest truth. I knew day one marrying her, the odds were not good that I would outlive her. I am the guy who moved here because it's cheap. The best plane visa, no restrictions, yes, easy to get, and easier to travel Southeast Asia. Well, that's one of the things we wanted to do when we were living there. But between COVID and Typhoon Odette, my heart struggling, some other things, we didn't get to do any of that. We didn't get to go to Australia like we wanted to. We didn't get to go overseas to the Asian countries like we wanted to. We didn't get to do any of that. We didn't. And we came back to the States because it was the best thing. We already had a house. We just came back to the U.S. Now, we're going to go back in 27 because we got to take care of some land business and some other stuff in the Philippines. Now, what we're working on is this. We've been to the Philippines. We've been there, done that. Instead of spending a month in the Philippines like usual, we're going to fly to the Philippines, do 2 weeks, enjoy our friends, have a good time, and then we're going to fly to like Singapore, where she has a cousin who lives in Singapore and been there forever. And we're going to stay at his place, and we're going to hang out in Singapore and do a little traveling in that part of the world for a couple of weeks, and then we'll fly back to the United States. So I think that's great. I think if you got those plans, the only thing I'll say, and I feel sorry for the guys, I really do, and we know a lot of them, we do. We all know a lot of these guys. The reason they want to live in the Philippines is because they can afford to buy a bunch of booze. They can afford to live on their $1,000, $1,200 a month and be drunk. They can be an alcoholic in the Philippines on the income that they bring in. And I'll tell you a story. After Typhoon Odette hit, and we were in a lobby of a hotel on the other side of Cebu, trying to cool off because this place finally had electricity. We had to pay 4 times the going rate for a room that had electricity 12 hours of the day and water half of the day. Yeah, half and half. 4 times the going rate. We ran into a guy, an old man in the Philippines, sitting there talking to him, ran in talking to him. And he's like, well, the only reason I'm here is because I like to screw women and I like to be drunk. And I can do the both right here. I have a little, what do we call those? Pension house. I have a place in a pension house in Cebu City over in, oh yeah, I know where that is, you know. It's like, yep, I got 2 TVs so I can watch sports channels, and when I want sex, I get sex, and I drink all day, every day. Well, okay. So, but there's a lot of family men that go to the Philippines too. But there are a lot of guys who look at it as a cheap way or a more affordable way to live out their dreams of not having to give up alcohol. And if that's your dream, that's your dream. It's not my dream. I don't really drink that much. But that was our dream, you know. And the other problem we had was we couldn't decide on, I wanted to buy a house, a nice house out by the water, already built, you know, like I'll pay the money, just buy it. I wanted to move way out of the city in another province, you know, town, province. My wife's a city girl. So we had that debate, and, you know, I think we both lost that debate. So we didn't do that. And city living, Philippine city living is not my thing. Country living is not my thing. So I gotta live in between. I'm a suburbaniite, I guess. I like being able to travel easily, go places easily. And I remember when we bought our land up in northern Cebu in Bogo, it was basically a 50-mile drive, 50 miles. It took us 3.5 hours to get there, to go 50 miles. 3.5 hours. I was going to pull my hair out between all the traffic, all the road construction. I love the fact that they had this brand new, beautiful highway, right? And I guess the goal was they got all of the vendors, all the sari stores, all of the houses moved off of this road, backed them off, and they paved a brand new 3-lane road. Well, what happened on the brand new 3-lane road? Everybody just moved onto the blacktop of the 3-lane road, so it was back down to a 1-lane road. And then, of course, you can't forget about the electrical poles that are stuck in the middle of the road that you got to miss. And if you don't know where they're at in the middle of the night because there's no street lights, you're going to kiss a telephone pole. And then, of course, all the great big gigantic holes in the ground for no other reason than there's a hole in the ground. So you got to be careful about that. But AJ, I agree with you. You're a young, healthy man. I can't say you're a good-looking man, but you're young and healthy. And you should travel as much as you can get away with. I would if I was like you. So, you know, I used to tell my college students, as a point of reference, simply understand the best thing they could do is to go travel the world while they're young. Go travel the world. Get a job for a company that sends you to England or Germany or Asia. Whatever you got to do to go see the world, go see the world. Because when you're 40, you can always get a job and stay in it until you die. You can always be miserable later on in life. When you get to be my age and your heart doesn't work very well and your lungs don't work very well, you've had so many leg surgeries that it's unbelievable. Yeah, I wish, I would have done it differently. Guys, just be right back. I got to go find the back porch again. My view says, yes, I reject it. The mindset of most Americans have of working until I die, good. I often told I should still be working. My question is why? I agree. You know, we had a lot of nurses come through our college. I had a lot of nurses come through my program. And I was always really impressed by the ones that were smart enough to be travel nurses. So they were going to get their nursing degrees, go work and travel and make money all over the country, make good money, traveling as a travel nurse, but they would get to see the country. And I was, my field of study was, you couldn't use it in a foreign country. It was all American based government, is what my stuff is. So everything I knew really didn't pertain to another country. But every time the college would say, we need somebody to go attend a conference to have a warm body to it, I volunteered. I almost got to go to Russia one time. I've been all over the United States on my college's money. And I would go and come back and report, Hey, take advantage of traveling. So, travel nurses can make crazy money. They can. And they can get good benefits while they're doing it. But, you know, I highly recommend to young people, go travel. If that means you got to join the military, join the military. Anything you can do to go somewhere else versus where you're from is outstanding. Because we learn life lessons like you can't believe by visiting other places, even in America. If you go out to California, you learn very quickly there's a whole bunch of crazy people in America, right? That just happen to live in California, which is a good thing. You go to Texas, you learn all about guns, right? So you see what I mean? You go to the Appalachians Mountains and you learn quickly how poor it is, how poor America really can be. You learn, you go to the Philippines, you come to a third world country, you find some of the happiest, nicest people who live the most impoverished lives there are in a filthy environment. You go to Aruba and it's a Dutch island, as you know, which we should take that one over too. We should take that from the Dutch. We should kick the Dutch out and take Aruba for America. You go to Aruba and a Curacao, it's beautiful, spotless. My God, you're like in heaven. But they don't speak very good English there because it's a Dutch. Go do something. Don't sit at home and do nothing. Because when and I tell the story to my students, I had a friend that I worked with at the college. I don't remember her name now because she's been dead forever. But she was a very nice lady. She worked all her life. She was in the HR department. And I felt so bad for her. She worked hard all her life, and she got really sick. And when she was 60, whatever, a year before she could go into retirement, she got really sick and used up all of her medical leave act, all of her vacation time, all of her sick time. And the college was going to fire her unless she came back to work. So they forced her to come back to work. She comes back to work. She's not working a couple of months and she dies. She dies. And I remember talking to her before she died because I liked her. She's a nice little lady. And she's like, I've just been working all my life. I haven't gone anywhere, done anything. And she never got the chance. So a couple of months before she was actually going to be able to retire with all of her benefits, she kills over dead. Meeting people from all over the world will make you a more well-rounded person. I agree. It makes us a better person, I think. I tell the story, whether I think the Philippines is boring or not, but the story is this. When I'm in the Philippines, I'm actually a little nicer because people are nicer to me. Now, I recognize that a lot of them are nicer to me because they want something. It's their job. It's their job to open the doors and to cook the food at the hotels and the resorts. It's what they're getting paid for. And they are, but they're still nicer people. Here in America, you run into people that are supposed to open the door and help you in your restaurants and hotels and resorts, and they treat you like shit. So they don't have to be that way in the Philippines or other countries. So it is a nice perspective to see people doing menial work and being happy. That's something that makes you realize, oh crap, all of our bitching and whining and crying about things in America, maybe we need to take a different perspective in first world countries. So So you learn that quickly. You also learn that they value relationships differently than a lot of us. You know, I don't know. I think it teaches you to be a better person, more well rounded. And anything that you can take away as a teaching moment is something you should do. But my God, I wish at 25, 30, when did I start my teaching career? I really wish I wouldn't have gone straight into teaching and being, I mean, I went from being a student to working at the college. And that's where I was until my heart gave out and there was no more work. I really wish I would have done something different. Now, we can't look back and go, it was the wrong decision because of so many things that we learned, that I learned in that time. All the people I met, all the things I got to do, all the people that I got to help in my field, right? They are happier with less, which is why they shouldn't have more. And I know that sounds mean, but you know, we all experience in America, a lot of us men who live in America with wives always talk about how our Filipinas are becoming Americanized because they can no longer live with less. They got to have more, more, more. And that's a real shame when that happens. And it happens to all of them. I'm just telling you. That's why I actually encourage guys, if you're able to, don't bring your wife here. Live somewhere else. Don't come here. You know, if you want that type of life, it's not going to last here. You're going to butt heads. Because once they see the glory of America, how easy it is supposedly to get things, how much shit there is to get here, and their basic needs like food and shelter are taken care of, once those are met, even us, you know, as a young poor man growing up, you know, I was worried in the early years when I was 18, 19, 20, how am I going to feed myself? How am I going to put a roof over my head? Those were my two primary goals. But as I got good jobs, made money, put myself through college, and then money started coming in. Well, I no longer worried about the food. I no longer worried about the housing. Now I moved to really nice cars, you know, then convertibles, you know what I mean? You know, right? So it's not an unnatural process that happens, but it is what happens. So if you don't want that to happen, I recommend you stay in the Philippines or whatever other country you're marrying somebody from. Luckily, my wife doesn't like steak. She's okay with McDonald's. That is lucky, my views, because my wife is a meat eater and she likes steak. But I know what you mean. My wife is to be honest, is half and half. She's a half foot in and a half foot out. Not a good place to be, but that's where we are at. 1 foot out, 1 foot in, so to speak. And neither one of us like McDonald's. We eat McDonald's, but McDonald's is crappy food. But we only eat it when we travel because we get the number 7. And Lorelai and I split our fast food meals because I'm trying to lose weight. She wants to lose weight. And instead of buying 2 combos, we buy 1 combo and split it. And the number 7 has 2 single hamburgers and 1 french fry. So I get a little hamburger and she gets a little hamburger. It's mainly bread. And then we share the french fries. But nobody likes McDonald's. Nobody likes McDonald's. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I do recommend that. GTV is in the house. Good to see you, young lady. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good to see you. Pat's in the house. I think he had to go find the back porch. GTV, so I know who'll be back. If you don't know what that means, he had to go outside and pee. So I told my wife the other day, I said, oh no, Pat had to go find the back porch. And she's like, what do you mean? He doesn't know where his back porch is? And I go, no, I'm sure he knows where the back porch is. And then I said, well, why does he need to find the back porch? You know, and I said, well, what that means in America when you say you got to go find the back porch is you're going to go outside and pee. Hello, my views. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. A lot of good people coming in and out tonight. We're all going to be friends in 2026 is what we're doing. My view says I spend 10 for both of us here in the States. It would be, nah, if you could only spend $10 in America, you're lucky. I mean, we went a Whopper meal at Burger King, a normal one, nothing, is $12, and tax. Yeah. Hey, GTV. Hello, Tina Marie from GTV. Good to see you. So I agree. I mean, it is cheaper in a lot of countries. But you also got to realize if you only got $1,000 in America, you only got $1,000 in the Philippines. All right? And a lot of guys I've heard over the years lose track of that concept. That they think, hey, I got $1,000 in America, I'm going to move to the Philippines and I'm going to be way better off than I am. Well, maybe, but you still got to manage it because you still only have $1,000. You have to use the coupon apps? Yeah, you'd have to. Man. But I will say, as of late, things are getting a little cheaper. We're not paying $20,000 for an egg anymore. So that's a good thing. But I know what you mean. And that's what I tell people. Lorelai and we ate like pigs in the Philippines and never gained weight. And it was everything's cheap enough. You could just buy Black Forest cake every week or Goldie cakes and Red Ribbon, and we could just order and have it delivered. We lived like kings, eating like kings, and never gained weight. David says, I am back in the house. Happy David. I heard gas is going down. It is. It is. It was $2.19 here, but the other day it went back up to like $2.30 something. And I think today it's showing $2.29-ish. David saying hello to you, GTV. Good to see you. It is going down. Gas in the Philippines is going up when we were leaving. But then again, during the typhoon, it had the whole, black market gasoline scandal going on and all of that. So, I don't know what is gas in the Philippines now. David? AJ? Anybody know what the gas is in the Philippines? GTV, does anybody know? How much is a liter of gas in the Philippines? The little woman went to town, so staying home at this time. Nice. 56 pesos a liter. All right, so do the math on it 4 times 2. Well, that's about the same here, right? If you do the math, that comes out to be about the same price per gallon in America. Some places 55. I don't drive here. I use Jeepney and Grab. I agree. Well, we had friends that had vehicles, and of course, we bought a vehicle for her family. So, and we, years before we got there. And we did have friends that had their own cars. So anytime we went places, I always paid gas. I'm one of these people that I don't want something for nothing unless it's $5 million. If you want to donate $5 million to my PayPal account, I'll accept that for nothing. But, if it's going to the mall, well, I'll pay you to take me to the mall. You're really thinking about getting a car, not a scooter? Why would you get a car? We looked at buying cars there. I was going to buy one of the Vios, the Toyota Vios, for about 20 grand, I think it was, 22. But the more we looked, the more we thought about it, it was so much easy to get drivers that I really never bought one. I looked at the Isuzu, little Jeep looking thing. But the other problem is, they're kind of small for a big guy. So, I like the scooters. My wife wouldn't let me have one because she thought I'd kill myself. So, diesel, maybe, 62 pace, okay, for that. Well, it's not bad. So I don't know if I would buy a car. I mean, if I did buy anything, I would buy a multi-cab. Look, I had a friend who who partly owned a company that brought over the multi-cabs from Japan and redid them. And for 3,000 bucks, $3,500, you can get a nice little van, completely customized, for $3,500 versus $20,000 for Toyota Yaris or whatever, Yeo or whatever, Yeo. What do they call those in the Philippines? Yeo or something like that? The Toyota, whatever it is. So I told my wife, I said, if we stay and if we buy anything, I'm thinking we're going to buy one of those vans for 3,500 bucks because it's made out of metal. If it gets beat up, it gets beat up. Not a big deal. We're not out another 15 to 30 grand, for a car. So I recommend those. Now, if you're a bigger person, they might be hard to drive, but I was in one of the vans, and those were okay. The trucks were tough for me. Pat says, I am back. My view says, I want to increase the likelihood of me surviving an accident. I'm never in a rush, so the traffic isn't an issue. All right. I don't know. I just think, I don't know. My wife won't let me have a motorcycle. I used to ride motorcycles, but now that I got married, you can't have any fun. So I don't get to have a motorcycle. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. David says, welcome back. David, do you guys have a car or a cycle, scooter where you're at? Now, three-wheeled cycles are very popular in the Philippines. You can get one of those. I mean, like Bud Brown does, a little tut-tut and drive around in it. Now, certain cities you can't drive those in. But, I don't know, man. We looked at it hard, but since we never decided on where to buy a house at the end we bought land. For the future, there's no need for us to buy one. And for us, with me being so easily frustrated, and then of course the other problem was for expats, like us, big fat white guys, they see us, and they may run into us and say it's our fault, so we got to pay them. So you do kind of put a target as an expat driving a car. If you're doing a scooter, at least you can have a helmet and a jacket on and they don't know that you're not a Filipino. Nope, I have diabetes, but it's under control. Excellent. But afraid if I got a motorcycle, if I got an accident, it could be really bad. I use the air-conditioned jeepney. Yeah. That's what we did. We would just use, what is it, Grab in the Philippines? Is it Grab in the Philippines too? So whatever the app, Lorelai did it all. We could easily get a taxi it didn't bother me. It really didn't bother me to take taxis and Grabs in the Philippines. And if we were going to be gone or go somewhere special, we would just hire a private car. And it was so much easier and cheaper to hire a private driver. Grab. Okay, thank you. I couldn't remember which one it was. So, because Lorelai would just order us a Grab. Now, if you're already at the mall, they're easy to get. But if you're out in your neighborhood, you might have to wait or be hard to get. But if we were going to go up the island or go do this or go do that, we would just hire a driver. We're going to be gone all day. Good. My views, that's excellent. It would be a used car. That's what I used to from my military days, often living in an island knowing I could have to leave in it. Yes, you don't want a big investment. Grab is huge there, but a few other competitors coming. Yeah, we never did the jeepneys just because I'm fat. And I don't like people touching me. I got a weird thing about strangers touching me. So I don't really do public transportation unless I have to in certain, situations. So in the Philippines, it was cheap enough for me. If we were going to go up the island or go spend the whole day, and we had friends that would go, right? They're in the Philippines, so I would just hire a van, or Lorelai would, she would just hire a big van, and then we could invite her friends to tag along with us for the day, and we would just spend the day sightseeing in the Philippines and going to eat and going to do this. And we'd cover all the costs of the travel and the food, and for everybody, made it all the entrance fees or whatever we did, going to the zoo, whatever. So, and then of course I would take good care of the driver, and our drivers knew we took good care of them, and so they took extra good care of us. I liked it. It was for $20, $30, to the driver, $40 to the driver as a tip, tip included. We could have him all day long taking care of us. And so there was around 250 pounds. We have some relatives with SUVs. So we go, yes, Dioro, we can coordinate. Yeah. And that's the other thing that we looked at was the Mitsubishi MVP. I thought about buying one of those so that we could take everybody with us. But then what I thought about was if we bought it, I would still hire a driver to drive it. If we were going to go on all-day adventure, I'm not going to drive it. I would rather just hire somebody to drive it. So if I'm going to do that, why don't I just hire somebody that has their own and just pay them? I'm going to go to the malls. England City air conditioning, jeepney works. Yeah. The weird thing about the air conditioning and the vehicles in the Philippines, especially like the buses, when we travel, we stay at a lot of places that have free shuttles, and I always hate the smell of the air conditioning in these shuttle buses. Boy, ugh. Craig is in the house. Good afternoon, David and Chad. Everybody said hello to Craig. Craig is the king of Down Under. And I mean in the land of Australia, not the other Down Under. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Deborah's in the house. Good evening. Good to see you, Deborah. Thank you for the thumbs up as you came in. How are you? What's going on in your world? Tell me your deepest, darkest secret. No, just tell me something funny. But thank you for being here. We're all making friends for the year 2026. So that's what we would do a lot, is just take the shuttle buses if we're staying at resorts. That doesn't bother me. It's cold outside, baby, it's cold outside. It is cold outside. It warmed up here today. It got above freezing and was sunny, so everything turned out pretty good for us. It's 26 degrees here where we're at. So Deborah, what part of the United States are you in? But Craig, how are things in the Philippines? I heard something interesting. I was thinking about you today, Craig, because the other day we talked about how Australia has enacted new rules and laws, so to speak, about the kids and the age and the verifications and speech and all of that. West Indiana, we got a lot of people in Indiana here. Pat's from Indiana, Ken's from Indiana. Man, we got a lot of Indiana people here. A lot of people. So you got a lot of cold there. Hello, David from Craig. Hello, Brother Craig. Pat, Deborah is in your neighborhood. She lives next door to you. Hey, Pat. So what I was watching today on YouTube, not on YouTube, I was watching like CNN, I was watching some news crap where they were interviewing a legal tech person. I don't know what she was. And she talked about how the changes for YouTube was happening this year. How YouTube has decided that the year of 2026, they're going to go after AI channels. One type is channels that are 100% AI. They don't want them anymore because they're hurting small content creators like us. It's running us out of business. They're saying that it's basically getting rid of their bread and butter, and they're worried about long-term damage if we give up and it's just AI. And then, of course, this is where we talked a little bit about your country the other day, is They've also enacted, they're going to be digging deeper for 2026 into children's channels and channels like children's channels. Apparently, what I guess they're not going to just ask you your age and verification like that. They're going to be using algorithms to dig deeper into these channels that they suspect are children's channels and shutting them down. And then if you're really not a child, then you got to prove it by giving up your U.S. government identifications to YouTube. So I thought that was interesting because they want to get the children off of YouTube because, you know, of the predators. But then I thought, well, that's good. That's like a little Band-Aid. But the kids will just use mom and dad's YouTube account. Because we get a lot of young people on this channel, as you know, that I do homework for from time to time. So we do know that. Pat says, hello to you, GTV. Good to have you. Thank you for coming into the loudest live stream in the nation. So I think that's interesting. Maybe it'd be good for all of us small content creators like David and Pat and you and me and everybody else, GTV. Because if you look at shorts anymore, 90% of the shorts are nothing but AI generated. So they're talking about that they're cracking down on that. They don't want, even if you identify and say, yes, this is what it is, they don't want us to do it. They don't want AI videos anymore. You can still use it within a video, but they don't want a full AI video. And of course, if you do use it, you got to disclose it. So I'm hoping that will have positive effects for little channels. I don't know, but I'm hoping. But that made me think of Australia and their new rules. Let me see here. Indiana has 20,000 feet of snow. Yes, it does. Minnesota needs a lot of snow. You know the best thing that could happen in Minnesota? They need a winter blizzard that drops like 7 or 8 feet of snow. Just drop 7 or 8 feet of snow on Minnesota, the whole state. Make it sub-zero temperatures for a week or two. Let everything cool off. Everything will be better. So, Pat, I did make sloppy joes out of steak meat the other day. I didn't like it with steak meat. I'm going to try it again with ground beef like you're supposed to. Thought I'd tell you that. Craig, we did get Unbothered Avocado or Jamie's baby shower scheduled on StreamYard for April the 3rd, Friday, for her baby shower. So we're going to give her a baby shower. So I hope you might be able to stop in and say happy baby to you. AI is so easy for creators. Everything becomes generic. It does. It does. And if you're good at AI, if you're good with the computer, you can knock this stuff out really fast. But the lady was talking about YouTube is definitely wanting to get rid of all AI channels. And I mean channels, all of the AI channels, but all the channels that are all AI. So all these fake channels, I guess, that are making money, but they're getting rid of people like you and I. I use AI when I make thumbnails. I've done that. And then, of course, you got to ask yourself, downstream is like these editing softwares, right, that we have. I have Filmora that I use to make videos out of. Like I just got one today that I need to finish. Crap. I'll post that tomorrow or the next day. It has all these new AI features that they want to pay. They want me to pay them extra for. Well, if YouTube doesn't allow AI videos, well, then I'm not going to pay for all of that. So it should save me money there. But she was saying that small content creators are leaving YouTube because they can't keep up. And YouTube is worried, kind of like the Bud Light situation in America, where Bud Light ran off all of their core customers. And I think companies have learned that you can make a shift, you can go after a new audience, a new target audience, but you don't want to get rid of your base. And so what she was saying was, YouTube has recognized that they're getting rid of their base. Their base that built YouTube is not wanting to be here anymore. One, everything's AI, so we can't keep up. Two, it's just getting us out of the queue. It's taking us out of their queue, not getting us the views that we need. So we'll see if it works or not. But I found that very interesting segment on one of the news channels. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to do as much AI, which is good, right? But I make thumbnails out of AI. I tried to make a thumbnail for Jamie's or Unbothered Avocado's baby shower today. I was trying to put a bunch of hot, sexy women in it so Dennis would come, but my AI wouldn't allow me to do that. It had restrictions, you know. Yes, yet the bombard the ads now, pushing premium, more damage to YT to me. Yeah, I agree. I don't like the non-skippable ads, all of that. And then the other thing they're doing now, which is irritating, it's just irritating, is they're doing all these pop-up ads in the chat. So like if you're on a desktop or an iPad, maybe not the phone, where the chat comes up, they're now putting ads. So the chat will drop and an ad will pop up. And you got to close the ad to get the chat to come back up. So. Oh, where is this? I need to close something out. But I don't know if YouTube is going to get rid of the ads because they make money off of it, right? But so that bothers me because I'm sitting here trying to read the chat, right? When I'm on the iPad or something, and I'll get an ad that blocks my chat, so I can't read it. Because I read the chat on my iPad, logged in as my fishing as PAC, like as somebody watching the live stream, so that I can be able to read and a bigger screen over here versus the little, and oh crap. I don't know what they're going to do, but I did find all of that very interesting for small content creators. Hopefully it'll help us. I don't know. I think big channels are also having problems. I think one thing I told somebody the other day, and I believe this wholeheartedly, it's not so much about how many subscribers you have, even though we all want 400 million. I do understand the math behind it, the odds, the percentages, but it is truly about the views. We're approaching 1 million views on my channel, Craig, by the way, everybody. When I get to the 1 million views, I'll let everybody know. But we are approaching 1 million views. I'm also approaching almost, I have 40-something hundred, right? But I have almost 12,000 people that at one time subscribed to me that no longer subscribes to me. So what does that tell you? That's crazy. That's crazy. And so I don't want fake subscribers anymore. I don't want you to do it. If you're not a real channel, I'm saying this, and this is one of my new make friends for this year. If you're not going to be a real channel, I don't expect you to watch everything, but if you don't do it right, and at least stop in from time to time, don't subscribe. Don't do it. Because if you don't do it right, it's not going to stick. It doesn't do me any good. So I think that's where people need to focus, is views on YouTube. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But I think I'm close to reaching 1 million views on the thing they call Tuba. Where's my dashboard? Where's my analytics? Yes. Yes, Craig. That tells you that they just did sub to sub more damage than anything else. I agree. And what I say follow up with that is this. It is also about your watch hours. So if you're getting legitimate views, and that's why we all do live streams, is this really helps our watch hours. If you do this and you get legitimate views, that's help. The sub to sub people, they're not helping your channel at all. They're not. They just don't. They don't help. And I don't disagree that they probably hurt your channel, because YouTube might think that you're just going after sub for subs. I don't know if that's what YouTube thinks. The algorithm, the math, the computer goes, oh, that's just a channel that's doing sub to subs. I know a lot of people aren't making sure that they get their watch hours. And we're blessed enough that we're able to maintain our watch hours every month. So we get enough generated every month to keep going. And cumulatively, we don't really struggle. So we're lucky there. But there's a lot of channels. Even Tim lost a bunch of his watch hours when the new year came. But in order to keep your watch hours, if you're a small content creator, you got to work at it. You got to bust your butt to get those hours and keep them. You may get monetized for a while, but if YouTube catches up to you and they demonetize you, well, what good did you do? Because they took all your hours away. And then they look, and I also tell people this, especially young channels, it's great to have a lot of people subscribe to your channel. But so if you're non-monetized, this is what I think. If you're a non-monetized channel and you're doing that whole let's all make friends thing and you're trying to get people to subscribe, once you become monetized, YouTube is going to look at your channel harder and see the sub for subs, and they're going to kill them. They're going to go, nope, okay, we saw that you had 4,000 subscribers, but now that you want to be monetized, we're going to take a closer look at you. And oh, by the way, 2,500 of those are just sub for subs. They're out of here. And that's happened. I've seen that happen to people. So we'll see. We can all be hopeful, you know. Craig says, yuppers, you like that? Am I good on that one, Craig? That's what I believe. I believe is that. Now, granted, if you're not worried about ad revenue and you're just looking for super chats, especially these girl channels, and I got another bone to pick about some of these channels. We'll go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So, you know, a lot of the girl channels, and you guys all know what I'm talking about, from different countries, is basically shaking their boobs, which if you pay me, you can see mine. You know, pay me $1.99 a month, maybe, you know, $2.99 a month. But they don't really care if they're monetized, fully monetized, as long as they can take super chats. So they're not worried about ad revenue. They're worried about super chats. So the super chats will outweigh those. But the other big bone I have about, you know, last few weeks is all of, you know, like the pro-life traveler, all of these expats that are getting in trouble for the channels. And I don't disagree that they should be dealt with harshly. I don't. And, but I think there's a point to be made that if it's not okay for a guy to talk about a subject, then it's not okay for a girl to talk about the subject. So I think there's a huge double standard on YouTube. And I would like to see YouTube move into the realm of they're taking these tit channels and saying, okay, you're doing this, you're talking about sex, this guy was talking about sex, we got rid of him, so we should get rid of you too. You know, this girl channel, like Filipino P or whatever her name is talking about hookers and dating and cheating, and well, that's what the guy channels do. We all talk about the same topics, right? But if the dude channels are getting in trouble, the Filipina channels, the women channels should also have the same scrutiny. That's not fair. Why that's allowed to happen, I don't know. But But that is the trend anymore. I think a lot of these girl channels are getting racier and racier in their own countries. They feel more powerful in their own countries to exploit their own people. And I think that's happening. I think it's happening on a regular basis. But they're not the ones getting in trouble. Instead, they're collecting a paycheck. Maybe YouTube doesn't care because they get a portion, that 30% of the donation. They're not worried about AdSense because of the donations, because women channels get way more donations than man channels. I would find it fascinating to know mathematically who gets the biggest donations, men or women. And I'm gonna bet you 400 Cokes that it's the women channels. I bet you there's more super chats that go into that. I bet you there's more money made off of memberships versus ad revenue, period. You know, and you even see on shorts now, some of these people come on, hey, if you want to see more of me, you can go to my site and pay $2.99 a month or $5.99, whatever it is. Spot on, don't care, all about the money. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's all about the money. And maybe the virtual reality channels, the AI channels, they don't generate as much money because people don't super chat on them, right? So they may make some AdSense, but maybe YouTube's like, no, look, this really doesn't work too well. We'd rather get rid of these, put more people looking at the girl channels that do make super chats, and that'll give us 30%, you know, and we make more money that way. Maybe it's a business, you know, formula that allows YouTube a strategy to put more money in their pockets. But you can't blame them for doing it. What I don't like is how they criticize each other for doing what they're doing. That's what I think is funny. The channels criticizing the other channels for doing exactly what they have done or are doing. That's funny to me. But then again, what do I know? I'm only a small content creator who's married to a wife that bosses me around, who's at work tonight, and I gotta pick her up in a little while. I had to drive her to work today, Craig. You know, we've had that big winter blizzard come through. And the roads are good, but any excuse my wife can use for me to take her to work, man, that's it. I keep telling her, I said, if you ever get to the point where you make over $150,000 a year, I'll drive you to work every day. Or I'll just hire somebody to do it. Because my wife doesn't like to drive to work necessarily, so she's happy for me to drive her. I had to drive her to work today, even though the roads are fine. So I'll go pick her up later. The other thing, Craig, and I know a lot of you guys have heard me talk about this, is I've learned that you got to silence your phone when you're doing live streams and recording. So, and I didn't know this. I had to Google it. Because there's been too many times when somebody's called while I'm live streaming or making a video and it screws things up. And I couldn't figure out how to deal with it. So I Googled it and I realized that what it told me to do was put do not disturb on my phone. Well, I didn't know my phone had that. My wife never explained to me that I could put do not disturb on my phone. You know, because she wouldn't want me to do not disturb her, so to speak. So, but now I've learned, like now, the phone is on do not disturb, so if my wife's going to call me or message me, she has to do it through Facebook Messenger. But yeah, I didn't know that you could do that. Didn't know that existed, because my wife's is in charge of the phones. She buys them, tells me, here, this is what it can do. I go, okay, thanks. You know, and that's it. You know, I pay the bill, and, you know, I think she's, you know, it's like the time when she had the GPS tracking on me. I was out fishing with a friend, and I told her we were going to go about a half hour away down at this place, and we wind up going an hour away. And she calls me and asks me, well, why are you in a different location than where you said you were going to be? And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, I pulled you up on the tracking thing, and you're not where you said you were going to be. And I'm like, Okie dokie. Well, I'll be home later. Like, oh my God, I didn't know my phone could do that. Who the hell knew your phone could do that? So if my wife can do all of that, and she knows all of these secrets, what does the government know? That's life. She decides, you pay. Yes, sir. That is kind of how it works in this world, isn't it? I know, Craig, but that's all right. We get used to it, right? You know, yeah, I don't know. Would you have it any different? Got to pick up the youngin' from work. Outstanding. Outstanding. Somebody sending me pictures of doggies. Nice. Oh, I got a bunch of pictures sending me of car accidents from the bad weather. Nice. Ken sent me some pictures of wiener dogs. He's so funny. I wish I could get my wiener dog to be a superstar. You know, I want to buy another one, but they're just so damn expensive. It's unbelievable. We really can't afford to drop $2,500 on a dog. So I really would like to have another one. And also when you have two dogs, it's really hard to get somebody to babysit two dogs versus one dog. It's even hard to find somebody to babysit one dog. And to travel with them is not cheap and easy. I mean, we took our dogs to the Philippines and back. You know, trust me, I spent enough to buy a couple of cars in the Philippines on that. But I'd like to get another one. And I would do daily shorts with my new wiener dog. I think it'd be fun to get you a brand new little puppy and every day do a video about the brand new little puppy. Stupid little things they do or how difficult it is or all the cute little funny things. That would probably make you a boatload of money. You know, what do they say? Kitty cats and puppy dogs and kitty cats make the money. So, but is it really worth all the effort you got to go through? I don't know. Let me get this pulled up here. Where did that go? What? Let me look at something. I think in a few months, we will have over 1 million views. Can you believe that? 1 million views. 1 million views, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping by the end of summer, no later. Man, that would be cool, right? About the only thing I have to hang my hat on. Oh, I need to work on this video. I hope everybody's doing great in the background. You guys drop a chat. Let me know what's going on in your world. I'm going to work on the description of this video real quick while we do this. Let me know, say hello, let me know, pet wand. I don't like the way it says. Dennis is lurking in the background. Dennis, how are you? Did you see that I got Miss Avocado's baby shower thing scheduled and posted? You're not the father. You sure? You sure? I was trying to do something for you today, Dennis. I was trying to make a very sexy thumbnail, but my AI computer software wouldn't let me make anything sexy. I was going to try to put women in bathing suits having babies and all kinds of weird stuff. I spent a lot of time and energy trying to make something, luring, but you got what you got. They are hot. They're not bad, but I was trying for something a little bit more risque. And I also tried really hard to make something with avocados Boy, that came out really bad. IA was not getting my concept of avocado, pregnant avocado, having a baby shower. It just was not getting that concept at all. I mean, it came up with some weird crap, but nothing, worth using. I couldn't even get it to make an avocado shaped cake. I got it to make some avocado shaped balloons once. Well, and then of course, since it's a baby shower and it's Jamie's baby shower, I didn't want to make it too risque. Plus, if I made it too risque, Lorelai would get mad at me. So what are you looking at girls for? I'm not. I'm just trying to make something that would make Dennis happy. That's all I'm trying to do. Pat needs something to look at. We need something good to look at. But what do I know? At least we got it all set up. What? Pat's going, what? Did I hear my name? What the hell you boys talking about? See, Pat's even in trouble. I'm listening. Pat says, Pat, I was talking about the thumbnail that I made using AI today for Jamie's baby shower live stream. That's what I was talking about. I was telling Dennis I was trying to make one of sexy women in it, but the AI wouldn't let me use words like big breast or sexy or anything like that. Wouldn't let me do any, I had to keep it extremely PG. Because I was going to make something that rocked Dennis's world. Like sexy Colombian women having babies. No. My Lorelai's at work now. She can't call me because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I got a new product in line, in-house. I made a video. Now I'm trying to come up with a description of it. Uh-oh. Oh. The hard drive kicked on. My external hard drive kicked on. It scared me. I thought it was Lorelai. Finding some way to get at me. I figured she'd be in the chat tonight. Because, but she said, I took her to work, right? And apparently only one other employee in her department showed up for work. Everybody else stayed home to work. So her and one other person showed up, so she's probably doing a lot of work. Probably got time to stalk us, but it's close to her lunch hour. And I'll go pick her up later on tonight. So Dennis, what's going on in your world? Any trips planned soon? I think we're looking at having a pretty boring year this year, to be honest. We don't have any trips planned. The only expensive thing we have is Lorelai's birthday. But we don't have any trips planned at all. We don't have anything exciting coming up, I don't know. I don't think we do. Hang on. Trying to wrap up a video. Will you be my friend? Alright. Uh-oh. Crap. My video got off kilter a little. That'd be alright. I can live with it. Nobody's going to watch it anyway. If it doesn't have sexy women in it, nobody watches the videos anyway. One thing I figured out. What do I want to do? I'm going to do this from members to public. We're going to set up a members to public video. All you got to do is go in here and click from members to public. Tell it when you want it to go. I want to go Thursday. So the public will be able to see it Thursday night at 6. Everybody else will be able to see it in a few minutes. I like doing them at 6 p.m. All right, make sure I got all the other stuff on there. All right, we're good. I did buy a new doggy ramp for Lily. Lily the wiener dog is getting a new ramp. We have one ramp that she uses to get up. I bought a couple other things too. But we have this one ramp that she's been using to get up and down on the couch with. But for some reason, she doesn't like it. I don't know what's going on, whether it's too hard, it's too slick. I don't know. Something's happened that's made her not really like it. So she tries to jump, and little wiener dogs can jump, but it's not good for them. So I bought a hard foam 3-step ramp, the 3-step one that turns into a ramp or steps. And it's the right height. I measured it for our couch to where it's like 1 step, 2 step, 3 step onto the couch, and the ramp is the same way. It comes right under the cushion, so they got to kind of make a little jog on top of the cushion. My view says very nice. So I'm hoping that, because she has a really bad foot and she has to put weight on it to get up this ramp. I think the ramp, if it was longer, maybe it'd be okay. I don't know what the ergonomics of it is. So I bought one of those. Should be here in a few days. I'll show you guys that when it comes in. But I'm hoping Lily will jump up the ramp, be able to climb that ramp easier since it's softer and it's made out of fabric, so it has a gripping pad and her nails should be able to dig into it and get up it easier because, she's the only doggy we have left. So, and it was like probably $30 or $40 on Amazon. So got that coming in. And I did buy a new tripod, everybody. I'm going to do I need Lorelei's help, but I want to do a little demonstration talk about tripods because I have 2 broken tripods, and Pat says that's good for the doggy, right? So we'll see. I'll show you guys when it comes in, and it's a little wider. I'm also thinking my dog maybe thinks that the one that she's been using is too narrow. Why? I don't know. Maybe she almost fell off of it, and I don't know it, and so now she's kind of scared of it. But I have one really nice tripod. I have one nice tripod, that I've had that came with our very expensive camera that broke. And then I have a cheap tripod, really cheap one that came, I don't know, some crap, like a $5, $10 one. I broke it. So I decided the other day to spend big money and get a much better tripod. And I spent like 60 or 70, I can't remember, I'll have to pull it up, but 60 or 70 bucks for a new tripod. So I'm going to do a little video or a live stream, maybe something where I'm going to talk about these tripods. I'm hoping, versus getting cheap ones, buying one more expensive one, because I'm really big on having a tripod, and I'll tell you why. And I need one that's heavy duty, one, because I'm an idiot, and two, see here, I break things. I have a real bad habit of busting plastic. Why? I don't know. I think it's Dennis's fault, because they're probably all made in Canada. I don't know, but I break plastic crap. So even the device that's holding this phone right now is all metal. The device that screws to my mobility scooter that I use when I'm out and about, it's all metal. I can't break it. I hope I can't break it. So now I got a tripod that has all metal on the head. So hopefully I can screw in the plastic extender piece. You do get one of these, but I do got a metal one of these. So I can screw in my metal one of these and put my phone in it. So you're like, well, why in the hell do you need a tripod? You ain't nobody special. You're not even a 5,000 subscriber person. Man, you're out of your mind. What I like to do with my tripods and all the live streams and the parties that you've seen, I have the phone on a tripod. And I like it when you have a handle on a tripod so that you can rotate. And the one I got now has smooth ball bearings in it. So no longer do you got to force it to kind of rotate, or you loosen it up so much it just spins around. So this one has ball bearings in it, so that when you rotate the camera, it should go much smoother for the live stream. So when I pan around, looking at all the girls, doing this, it should be a smoother video for you guys. Same thing with tilt and trim. And it also makes a monopod. So if you want to turn it into a monopod while you're out, you can do that. So that's what I did. And the other big thing I'll show you when we do the live stream, which is really important, I always use a battery pack. Partly why I broke these cheap crappy things is because I would hang the battery on the side because they didn't, and they would help tip over the tripod, the weight shifted. Well, the one I got has what they call a weight hook at the bottom of the tripod that you can actually hang weights on. So I'm going to hang my little bag directly below the phone so it actually keeps the tripod more stable. I'll show you on a live stream when I get them all together what I did and why I'm doing it. So, but otherwise I would have never bought another tripod, except for we do so many live streams outdoors and indoors where I'm sitting down moving the camera around. I would really like to learn more about tripod heads or something that can track you. So for instance, maybe you guys know, I don't know. For instance, like I do have a gimbal, right? A gimbal that I can sync my phone to. And if I touch the screen, like my face, the gimbal will always follow my face, right? Okay? That's if you're using the camera. If you're live streaming, you can't do that. It doesn't work that way. So what I would like to do is find a way that I can live stream and have the camera follow me while live streaming. So if I'm in the kitchen bouncing around, moving around, the camera could follow me. I could have a target on me somehow, and the head would move. But right now, I'm still working on that. So if anybody has any information on that, let me know. Because you can do the gimbal with it, but you can't, but the camera's busy connected to the gimbal, so you can't use the phone to live stream. You can't do two things on the camera. You can only do one thing at a time. So that's why you got to find a different device, I think, that can rotate your camera, move with you, and so you can live stream. Otherwise, there are a lot of ways you can do it if you're just making a video. If you're just making a video, you can put the tracking on you and it will follow me all over the kitchen for the most part. Now, the only problem with it is if you get too far away, you lose connectivity. And then the gimbal goes, beep. So you got to be careful about that. But for the most part, it works. It works okay. But you can't live stream. So I need help on that. I need to work on that. Maybe I'll do that right now. But other than that, I wouldn't have bought a new tripod except for one, I broke two of them. And two, I like being able to do those parties like we do. But I've always wanted a smoother one, so this time I really did get a rotational head that should be a lot smoother. And this thing's way, way heavier than my other tripods. And it comes with a case, but it's a serious tripod. Motion, oh, it's still in here. Motion tracking the iPhone. Let's see. Motion tracking iPhone while live streaming. That's what I'm looking for, something like that. Oh, all right. I kind of see what they do. I don't know, would this mount to my tripod? All right. So I did find something. What it is, what it is, pretend that this is a security camera. Let me get this. Hold on. I got one in here. I got one in my closet. Hold on. So this is a motion tracking camera, security camera, right? A cheap one. It looks like what they've done is they've taken a device like this, a motion tracking camera, and they put a slit in it to where you can hold your iPhone on top while you're live streaming. So you're live streaming and you tell this to track your motion. And so it will rotate like this. So this is the first thing that I've seen that might work. I'm going to have to study it before I buy anything. But it's supposed to rotate the whole phone to follow you through one of these type of devices. Auto tracking phone holder. With gesture control, no app required, 360, 26-degree axis station amount. But I needed to mount to a tripod. This one doesn't mount to a tripod, or does it? Okay, it says that it does. It is battery operated, so you don't have to have it hardwired. Man, this might be something to do. How come? Now, I don't trust this website. This is a British, some weird website. So I don't really trust this website. So I won't buy it from here. But now that I know that there's something like that out there, I'm going to go to Amazon real quick. And see if I can find something, because I really want that. Pat says hello to you. Dennis, good to see you. Dennis. All right. Now, well, they do make them. I guess I'm just an idiot, which is nothing new to you guys, right? They do make them. I'm going to have to study to see which one's the best one at the price. They're not real expensive. It looks like $25 to $40, $50. Oh, here's one for $159. We won't buy that one because I'm poor. But I want, oh, they got a lot that's already attached. Well, I didn't know this. I could have already bought one. They got them where they're built into tripods. Hello? I swear. I swear. Some of us are not very bright. So let me see. Maybe I'll show you when I find what I'm looking for. I'll show you on the camera here once I find what I'm looking for. Yes. All right. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Whether you guys care or not, I'm going to show you. So you see, this is the camera that tracks you. This is your phone that you can live stream on. These are not connected. They're screwed. There's a place like this. And the good thing is, let me show you. You see? So it can be a desktop model, like those girls playing makeup. It does 360. It rotates all the way around. That's really good. This is important. It can tilt. No app needed. Nice. Here's what's the important thing. This screw. See, this is going to be the bottom of the camera. So right here is here. This is going to screw onto my tripod. Now, my only question is, if this phone holder is connected, hard connected to this, which I don't like because this is probably plastic. See, this is probably plastic. What I would prefer is this that holds your phone to be able to screw into the top of the camera, because I have a really good metal one of these that I don't break. There's a yoga girl for Dennis. Let's see. I need to find one that I can do one. My views are, do you like that, my views? Have you seen that? Have you seen those? That's going to be my next purchase. Oh, they come in different colors. You can get one in pink, white, or black. But I would really like to be able to put my own head holder on it. But neither one of these models you can do that on. Yeah, but you know what I want to do? You guys have been on my live streams enough to know that when we're in the house moving around, I'd really like to be able to do that. Because then I don't got to sit down and move the camera, right? I can do a little bit like in the kitchen or doing stuff, put it on Lorelei, and Lorelei can bounce around the kitchen and follow her. I'm just worried about the holder part. And right now, it's only like $25 to $35 for these two that I can find. But I'm hoping they got more options. But now that I know what it is, let me do some more Googling searches. Because I'd really like to have one. And I'm happy that it has no app required, because I don't like putting all these crappy Japanese apps or Chinese apps on my phone. Let's see if they got any others. Well, they do. They have webcams that pan? Really? Webcams that pan. So you can live stream on the camera? Is that what you're saying, instead of your phone? Is that what you mean? Okay. Let me see if I can find something. What are they? Web cameras that Pam, is it Pan? Pan. Okay, I'm seeing some that you hook onto like a desktop. What I'm seeing, and if I'm wrong, let me know. Pat says, sounds interesting. I don't know if they have Bluetooth capability. Well, it looks like it's hardwired into my desktop. So instead of having, here, instead of having this would be able to follow me. See what I mean? Automatically. That's what this would do. But it looks like it has to connect. It's same thing as that. It just pans and tilts. So I have to live stream here on the computer. So this doesn't have itself the ability to do a live stream. It's just replacing this camera. Which still would be a very good thing. I don't need it because I don't live stream from my desktop very much. I just don't. When I do the StreamYard, I do. But other than that, I don't really stream from my desktop. I use my desktop while I live stream. Or I guess a laptop, whatever you got, whatever. Now, I guess if you do have a laptop, you could do it easily if you're like out at coffee houses, coffee shops, things in nature, and you take your laptop, it would probably work just great. That's what that looks like to be. AJ, if you know something different, man, let me know. If I'm not, I need to find another. I need to figure out, what is this called? Auto facing. Yeah, the DJI Mobile. All right, I'll pull that one up. Now, from what I know about the DJIs, they're like $1,000. I got a friend that bought one in Korea, and he got a decent price. So let me show you, I'll show you some pictures of some of this. Sorry. See, this has a little camera in it that can zoom to you and rotate. Same thing with those. What I don't like is this cheap plastic. This one might work if that's a camera. I gotta pull that one up. But I really want to be able to change this out for my good heavy duty metal one. And it has to be able to attach to a tripod. I don't know if that helps you understand. Let me go to the DJI ISO. Well, they got a nice gyroscope, or what do you want to call them? So the DJI Mobile 7 or 8. Under handhelds, okay. Well, these are gimbals. I think what you're talking about are gimbals. Can I show you? See, this is the DJI Mobile smartphone. Is this what you're talking about? Because these are gimbals. Yeah, I have a gimbal. Oh, sorry, turn you guys around. I already have one of those. See, we already have a gimbal, all right? It works great if you're recording because your phone can sync up to the gimbal, right? They work in conjunction. There's an app, and they work in conjunction, and you can control it. All of this, right? The only problem is when you're using the camera to record. If the camera is tracking you, it can't go live. So because you can't get the camera and this, you can't do a live stream and use this effectively. So I can't live stream and get this to sync up. So if I'm live stream, I can't use this live streaming. All I can use it for is recording, but I can't go live on it because the gimbals want to control your phone. And if this has control of your camera, you can't use your camera for live streaming. So that's the problem. And so I want to take, like I showed you, something like this that my phone can go to that would track me. Adults at play, can the gimbal not work alone? Well, yes. You don't gotta sync the phone. So yeah, you can turn the gimbal on. I don't know if I got any battery. See, you can turn the gimbal on. But it's trying to connect to the phone. And if it doesn't connect to the phone, it doesn't do anything. It won't work. Because, the gimbal and the phone need to communicate with each other. So no, you really can't. I guess you could put it fixed in place, but so no. So you can see right there, it won't do anything without matching to a phone, without pairing to a phone. So these are really good if you're videoing, and you can put this on the ground, and you can, if you're videoing, you can put the tracker on you, and this thing will literally follow you all over the place. It really will. If you get too far out of the thing though, it loses and does that. So, and these are really touchy for me. I don't use it much because the control is so touchy that it jerks a lot. I don't know. I don't know. What do you know? I mean, do you have any suggestions at play? Adults at play, do you have any suggestions? I don't know if it does to all gimbals, but I'm going to assume it does, because if your phone, pretend this is a phone, has to pair with its camera with this, then how can you do two things on your camera? So it's not necessarily about the gimbal, it's about your phone. Your phone can't run the camera twice. It just can't. And I've tried a bunch of different ways to get my iPhone to do, it's impossible, because it can't do two cameras. And that's what you would have. You'd have to have a camera connecting to the gimbal and then one you're live streaming on. And you don't have two. All right, no experience. Well, it's a good question though. I'm assuming so, because I know how this gimbal works. I'm gonna study it a whole lot more. And that's where I was thinking, if all I can find is something, pretend that this is the iPhone. Oh, I got an old iPhone right here. So if I can buy something like this maybe, that has a camera in it, that they're showing, that would track me, that would hold my phone, right? And it would follow me around that. So I'm live streaming, I can come here, put this on here, I could click this and get it to track me and just follow me everywhere I go, because it's gonna hold the phone in place, like, you know, with one of these clips. But my problem is, it definitely has to connect to a tripod, and I would like it to have an external one of these that you can screw onto the top, because I break these really easy. These cheap plastic ones, I have a tendency to bust. My view says the 7 has a multifunctional mode. Does it? All right, I'm going to study those. Oh, maybe you're right. I don't know, but just at the looking at the picture, well, I'm not really using the gimbal for anything. Sorry guys, I actually don't use the gimbal. I use a tripod a lot, and I like to rotate the camera around easily. And I want to be able to track motion. Like if I'm working in my kitchen and I'm moving around, I want the camera, the live stream, to follow me. So you could use a gimbal, but I would like, my tripod would work just fine. Any tripod would work, right? But, so here's what I just noticed. And I got to dig into this, but is this a camera? So maybe you can live stream on your phone, and this is that camera, like one of these. So that might work. Now, it's a true gimbal. But now what we need to do is make sure that this gimbal, which it should, down at the bottom, intelligent tracking, is that what it's called? I want to see the bottom, because I need this to screw into a tripod. I know you can extend the gimbal, but I wanted to screw into a tripod. So I don't want to use it like this. I want to use it on a freestanding tripod in nature. Are you looking for gadgets for my phone? I think Insta360 has a gimbal that works, but can you live stream on it? Gonna win a lot of rewards. Oh, let's look here, guys. Included multifunction module. Active Track provides advanced and versatile subject tracking performance no matter how you move the camera. Let me get you guys back over here. So yeah, I want to be able to use it not necessarily on a gimbal, but on a tripod. But I would still use the gimbal on a tripod because it's heavier and it's safer. Okay, let me look that up. Insta360. Yeah, I got to go to their website. Oh, they got drones. When did you say that was? Yeah, these are 360 cameras, right? So these are 360 cameras. I'm not wanting the camera to have a 360 view of my kitchen, so to speak, or like right now. I don't want the camera to see everything. I just want the camera to focus to move with me. So if I walk over to the left 2 feet, I want the camera to go with me. I don't want the 360 because in order for everybody to see the 360 software, you have to load the software, right? It's a different software if I understand the 360 stuff. And a lot of times, you know, you got to figure out how to move it around to see up, above, and around 360. But I'm going to study that a little bit more. But I believe that's what those are for. Now let me go to the DJI store versus Crutchfield. You guys remember Crutchfield? Did you ever have a car and wanted to buy speakers or new stereo? Remember the catalog that used to come out for Crutchfield? Or am I just getting old? I remember having a catalog that I could go through and order speakers for like old Camaros and Mustangs, you know, a Kenwood stereo system for the car. Remember that? Yeah, Fingerhut, yes. Okay, Adult. The camera is a native 360. I have to consider it's having like 8 cameras, yes. Nothing can stream 8K, right? But with an 8K camera, you can crop an image and still have H. Yes, I agree. If you're going to make content videos, I think that's really cool. And I agree with that. I totally agree with you. I just want to be able to do a live stream like we're doing right now, and my camera follow me while I wash the dishes, or I bake a cake, I go get egg, or I don't know, whatever the hell you're gonna do. If you're building a model, so if you got to go here, are you doing painting, you know, and you kind of do this, you want the camera to kind of focus on one particular. Maybe I'm a painter, and I want the camera to follow my paintbrush, or my hand. So I would want the camera to be able to kind of track my hand. Oh man, does that sound wave ring? Yeah, yeah, remember that? Craig says, I am back. I remember having a Pioneer or Kenwood system was badass. You know, they had the I think they were Kenwood X7 speakers that were really popular when I was doing all this. Kind of a box you sat up in the back window. Remember those? I wonder if they still sell that shit. And people would steal them out of other people's cars, break into their cars. You remember those two? Craig says, I'm back. Yeah, I'm going to study this really well. That'll give me something to do over the next couple of days, is to study this. But that's what I want to do. Yes, of course, the link should be capable. You'll have to understand some settings that the tracking gimbal have is the focus would be all over. Yes, I agree, yeah. Because you're constantly moving. That, yes. Yeah, I get that. And that's what I'm hoping is, yeah, I agree. But the iPhone really, if you're using like a good, like, an Insta360 or something, yeah, and I guess I wouldn't be dancing really fast, but you're right. That would be an issue. You're right about focusing. I wonder how the iPhone would focus, follow me, focusing me. I wonder if it would work okay. You're right. That is something to think about. Maybe I'll try that with Lorelai. I'll get her to just video me, and I'll see if I bounce around what happens. I mean, I've done so many live streams where we have parties and things and people are coming in and out, and nothing really ever goes out of focus, but I haven't tracked anybody either. Subwoofers for a car I don't have now. I agree. Yeah, okay, so the link has some software about that. Yes, check out. Let me write that down. Craig, welcome back. Thank you, my friend. We're trying to figure out how to be better. Where'd it go? Senpai Gaming. I'll check that out. Thank you for that. I will. I appreciate that. I really do. I'll find him and check him out and study. Yeah, get the thump going. Remember that? And the boom boom things would be bouncing and gyrating and get them all excited for the party. I remember those. I remember those days. Some of us survived those days, lived those days. So, where am I? I'm at Crutchfield. I'm on the Crutchfield website. I'm going to see if I can buy what I bought in the 80s. Him streaming career has got me started. Oh, really? All right. That's good to know. That's a good review. Hang on. Let me get back here to my live stream and get things caught up. So you have a YouTube channel? Let me pull your channel. I'm getting too many windows open. Let me pull your channel up. So you're not doing YouTube then, or are you just starting to do YouTube? Adults at Play. Do you want subscribers? You got 1 subscribers now, and you got a couple of videos out. So did a lot of Facebook, okay? Meatloaf, Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Woo! I love Meatloaf. Meatloaf is one of my favorite, Used to know Meatloaf by heart, all of it. Man, we play that. But I was going back here to Crutchfield. All right, let me get to Crutchfield. What do we want? We want car speakers. Maybe I can get back on Twitch at some time. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the good words. Feel free to follow us. We're always doing something, Oh, you got to select a year and model. I just want to see. Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, my God. Man, it makes me think I'm young again. All these speakers we used to mount in the back of cars. But I want like I want one of those. I want those speakers I had as a kid. Where the hell are those speakers I had as a kid? I remember what they're called. They're like, you're not leaving the Volvo 240? Oh, man, I'm just thinking subwoofers and boxes, maybe? Great live. Take care. Thank you, for sir. I appreciate you. Enjoy your day out there in the Philippines. Don't say hello to any pretty girls on my behalf. My wife will get very mad. And then those are amps. I remember buying amps or putting amps in. And I know they still do this, like in the lowrider industry. You know, that, I know they still build all those woofer boxes and do all of that stuff. So, I might have to do a different search. I'm going to find what I'm talking about, by gosh. I'm getting too many things open. Let me kill something. All right. I had my Sony Exploid. What am I looking for? Car speakers from the 1980s. Because I'm on a mission to find those raised box speakers that I really enjoyed in the back of the window of the cars. Classic speakers. I'm going to find them. I'm not going to buy them because I don't got anything to put them in. But they were like this, and then they had a slant. I think they were a Pioneer or Kenwood. Dude, Sony Explodes carries the early 2000s. Okay. No, not those. Maybe they were Kenwoods. I don't think they were Kenwoods. I think they were Pioneers. You think somebody out here on the internet has pictures of all these old? Yes, sorry, I'm an 80s baby. I'm an 80s teenager. Man, the 80s was a great time to be alive and kicking. Best time ever. You had these KCS 7000. Is that them? We used to have those big tower systems in our houses. I think these are them. This is not a good picture, but this might tell me what they are. Yeah, no worries in the world, yeah. So these were really popular in my part of the world. These are, I'm going to try to find a better picture. But I think this is what they are. They're like a triangle box thing. Let's see if I can find those, a better picture. Now I'm on a hunt. I didn't think they were KFCs, but I remember the 701. What was your favorite? Did you like the Kenwood or Pioneer? I think they're two different systems or sounds. I think the Pioneers were more badass, but I thought the Kenwoods had better sound. Yeah, I think these are them. We used to get them in black. So here they are. I'm going to show you what we had that was really popular. And ours came in black. I think that's a brown. That's silver or silver face, see? But ours is all black in color. Remember this shape? These are really cool speakers back in the day when I was a kid. When people were stealing things out of your car, you know, that's what they were stealing was those speakers. I remember, maybe I'll buy, I don't know what I would do with them. Maybe I could put them on the wall and advertise how old I am. Look at my speakers. You remember those, Pat? I'm going to show you, now that we're going down memory lane. I'm going to show you my favorite rim. I'm going to show you my favorite car rim for cool cars of all times. I just got to find it. When I was young, this is the coolest rim there was, I thought. There's a modern version of it out there, because I was going to put them on one of my Mustangs at one time. You remember these? Does anybody remember these rims on Mustangs and Camaros and Pontiacs? All chrome Kragers with the Krager label right here. Man, they made any car look good. And you would get larger in the back, smaller in the front. So, remember those? I think those are some of the most beautiful rims ever made. I thought they looked really good on old Camaros. Yeah. Say like this. Now I'm dating myself, but look at that. It's not a good looking car, and you just put those chrome rims on that puppy. Look at that. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That's when cars had style, taste. They were real cars. Man, I'm getting old. Check out this replica Mad Max coupe car at show. Let me see if I can pull it up. I need to get rid of some of these. Let me close out some screens and I will check it out, Craig. All right, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to show it, so you guys hold on. Let me get in here. I gotta get this caught up here. Let's see. Pancake, PP Pancake says, take your shirt off. Well, how much money do you have? I can be bought. I can. You super chat me money and you'll get the shirt off. That's all you got to do. Hey, we're all cheap whores in one way, shape, form, or another. You know, $100 gets the shirt off. How's that? Super chat $100 and you can get the shirt off. Happy to do it. All right, I got too many things going on. All right, let's see. Hold on. This is from our good friend Craig. You guys remember the Mad Max movie, which is outstanding? This is in an Australian car show. As you know, Mad Max is filmed in Australia. What do you guys think of that? Pretty cool, right? All right. Very good, Craig. Thank you. Thank you for the show and tell. All right, I think we're back. We're caught up. Like I said, Young Pancakes wants my shirt off. All you got to do is throw the money out, and baby, you'll get the shirt off. It's all right. Anybody else want to take their shirt off for money? Pat will do it. Won't you, Pat? Yeah, Lorelai and I like to go to car shows too. I think it's really cool. Our problem is we're not tapped into the car world, I guess. And they don't advertise car shows on TV here, maybe because it costs too much money. So we really don't ever know about car shows until somebody says, hey, did you see they had a car show down by the university 2 weeks? No, I don't know. So that's what sucks. But that's pretty cool, man. We love car shows. And we like, videoing them, taking pictures and checking out. Car shows are some of the coolest things you can go to. Oh my God. Let me get you. Get you. Gonna get you. Now we're getting old. But yeah, if you didn't know that, Mad Max was done in Australia. You can tell by the original one that it was truly Australia. The second one, you had to use your mind a little bit and you could tell it. Even Fury Road, the last one, was really good. I liked all of them, to be honest. I think the The one with Tom Hardy was that Fury Road. And then the latest one, though, with Furiosa was a child. You know, they showed that one. That one was okay, but it wasn't as good as some of the others. I mean, I really liked Fury Road. I think that was probably... Now, I like the originals, but I really do like Fury Road. But the last one, I can't remember what it's called, Furiosa something. But it was okay. You know, it was okay. Nothing special, I don't guess. But not bad, you know. Not bad. I like the actress. You know, the girl, I don't remember her name, of course, but she played in The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, which is a really good TV series if you haven't seen it. The Queen's Gambit. Oh, and if you like Korean television shows, Lorelai and I just got done watching the last couple of days a Korean show on Hulu called Vigilante. It was really good. It turned out to be pretty good. They dubbed it in English and they got some words wrong, but for the most part, they got most of the words right. But it was pretty good. A lot of blood and guts, a lot of killing, beating up people, you know. So that was pretty good. It was a pretty good movie, series, like 7 or 8 episodes. So a lot of fighting in it. My wife loves where people beat people up. She doesn't want to hear people talking to one another. She wants to hear them pounding the crap out of each other. If there's no blood and guts involved. And then there's a new series out there, if you don't know this one, which I'm really excited about. I watched the first episode a while back. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a follow-up from the Game of Thrones. And then, you know, like they have like the dragon one. This is one that's many years later, and it's about a single night. God, what is the name of that show? This one's a really good series. It's kind of humorous, but kind of funny. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up and tell you, because this one you might want to watch. It's called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's, I can't remember if it's after or before. Let me see. Does it say if it's before or after? A century before the Game of Thrones. So this is before the Game of Thrones, but it's all part of the Game of Thrones series or trilogy or quadrilogy or whatever you call it. So, Sir Duncan the Tall and his esquire, it's really good. It's kind of funny, but I'm really looking forward to this series on Hulu. So keep that in mind. And if you haven't seen it, the other great thing on Hulu that you might want to watch is called The Pit. It's a hospital TV show. It's badass. I don't really normally like medical shows, but you're going to want to watch this one. We watched all of the whole first season, you know, all through one weekend. It was so good. So just keep that in mind. There you go. That's your education, your TV entertainment value for the day. All right, so... Is there any TV shows anybody else is hooked on that we should watch? I'm always interested to see. Nice. Happy to do it. I don't know how that helped you get views, Craig. I mean, you got views through that? I wonder how you did that. How did that help you? Because, oh, this is your video. Okay, so this is, oh, I'm sorry. I guess I missed that. Let me go back. So, oh yeah, this is from you. I'm sorry, Craig. I didn't realize it was from you. I thought, okay, let me give it, I didn't give it a thumbs up. Let me give it a thumbs up, by the way. Let me give it a comment. Very cool. See, I should pay better attention. Very cool. Pat says, I got to lay down. My back hurts. Weather messed up. My scoliosis. Oh, I know. I hate it. Yes, Pat. All right. And one thing I've learned about, I think these shorts, Craig, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you want to get more views on them, all you got to do is like scroll down and scroll back up, scroll down and come back, and you get counted again and again, right? I mean, I don't know exactly how that works. But we got you out. We did a little bit for you, Craig, at least. At least, so. I need to figure out where I'm at. Nerves in the back, yeah, I know. I got to go have shots in mine tomorrow. So I'm getting ready to have that procedure where they do the I don't know. They're doing something where they're supposed to burn the nerves, the tiny fibrous nerves in my back. And so tomorrow they inject me in the spot where they think they're going to burn to see if it goes numb and if the pain goes away, and then they kind of know. Then they're going to do it again, and then they go in and do the burning of the nerves, so to speak. Initially, but adjust usually after 2 hours. Yeah, you know, what's sucky about a lot of the shorts is a lot of them get to, 1,000 and they kind of die. 1,500 and they die. I don't know why they die around those numbers. It seems very consistent to die at those numbers. Well, maybe. I'm not going to do any drugs tomorrow. They wanted to know if you wanted to be sedated for it. And I said, absolutely not. I can tolerate it. Just stick me the damn needles. Make me cry like a baby bitch, and I'll deal with it. But I don't want to be sedated. I just want them to do it, get it over with, and see if it helps, and go from there. So they're supposed to numb the area on the spine, the nerves, the little fibrous nerves, not the big one. And if that works, then they repeat it. And if it works, then the insurance company has proof. Now I got to pay $300 tomorrow. That's my share, I guess. So I got to pay $300 tomorrow. And then, so you got one session, second session, exact same thing. Then if that holds true, then the third session, they go in somehow and cripple the real fibrous nerves. Now they grow back after a couple of years, but that's one thing that happens, and it's very invasive. It's like just needles in the back. So I got to have that done tomorrow. All right, my friends, it's 10:30 here. I think it's close to time for me to go get the wife out of prison. She's probably hoping the jail will let her out. And here in a couple of minutes, I'm going to go get the wife out of prison. Or should I leave her in prison? Give me a vote. Thumbs up if I should get her out of prison, a thumbs down if she should stay in prison. Appreciate you, Craig. Yeah, I hope the short goes bonkers, because it is kind of cool car. So if you got any others, post them, let me know. So Craig, Pat, Dennis, everybody in the background, a whole bunch of you, My Views, Your World at Alt Play. All of you wonderful people coming in that gave us a thumbs up, shout out, subscribe to the channel, gave me $5 million. I appreciate it, but I think it is probably in my best interest to pick the wife up from work. So guys, I'll see you later this week. We'll be on again later this week. Take care.